All right, we shall be live. Let me check the link just to make sure it's all good before we talk for too long. Hello to everybody joining. Okay, perfect. I see it. We're good.
Oh, good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So, hello, welcome to the Horror Book Recommendations live show. I am joined by so many amazing creators, as you can see. It looks like all of their usernames are on the screen, and I also have everyone linked down below if you're unfamiliar with any of their channels. We are here today to recommend some horror books to you live, and I'm super excited about it. And so, I thought, yeah, maybe we should do introductions first to just like maybe say your name and like what your channel's about and things like that, just so everyone can kind of know who's all joining me here. So, Mandy, if you want to start.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda or Mandy. I have a channel, Mandy's Morgue of Horror, where I talk about horror books, movies, and basically all things spooky. Was I supposed to say anything else? Because I kind of blacked out when you were talking.
No, I mean, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Okay.
All right. Zach, you can go next.
Hello, I am Zach from Zach's Books. I mainly do horror and thrillers. I am still kind of trying to branch out in other genres, fantasy and stuff like that. So, but mainly horror and thriller stuff is what I'm doing currently.
Nice.
Cool.
Should I go next? Or Sav? Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Mina. I'm from Book Skywalker. I also read horrors, thrillers, sci-fi, some Star Wars, obviously because of my name. And I do a lot of like reading vlogs and book recommendation videos.
Nice.
Okay. Hi, I'm Erin. My channel name is Erin Megan. I also talk about horror books, thriller books, some mysteries. I talk about movies sometimes. I also recently got into manga, so I do manga hauls. I talk about manga, and I sometimes do makeup. It's not happened in a really long time, but also like makeup, so.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Sav or Savannah, whatever you want to call me. I'm from Riveting Reads, and I talk about thrillers and horror books. I'm going to start talking about movies, more horror movies, but I haven't done that yet, but I've been saying that forever. Anyway, I promise something's coming like next week. But yeah, I've been trying to branch out, and I tried for a while, but I just can't. Like, I just love horror and thriller. Like, I tried, but
yeah.
So yeah.
Feel that. All right. Well, sweet. Yeah. Sounds awesome. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us in the chat. It looks like we've almost got 200 people already here on the live, so that's really awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and so I guess first things first is I kind of just want to ask for everyone's like all-time, like your top 3 all-time favorite horror books if you had to pick a top 3, just so we can get a taste of like everyone's different unique taste in horror, because I think something that's really cool about horror is that everybody has really unique and different tastes, and we're not all gonna like the same stuff. So yeah. I think that's really awesome. So why don't you start us off, Mandy? We'll just go in the same order and let us know your 3 favorite horrors.
Sure. So I like the classics, and I've been starting to get into them lately. Like, I haven't read a ton, but I've read The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby within this last year, and I would have to say they're both in my top 3. And the third one, it's just so hard to narrow it down. It would have to be a Stephen King book, I think. Either it or Salem's Lot in my top 3. Top 4.
Nice. All right, Zach, what are your top 3?
All right, so I have the physical copies with me. I only wanted to put one King, but it's very difficult to only put one for me. So I'm going to go and save that one for last. I've got My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, which was actually a really big surprise for me. I didn't expect a whole lot out of it, and I actually loved it, so that's awesome. The next one I have is The Troop, Nick Cutter. This one I actually think was off of one of your recommendations, Gabby, and I was absolutely stunned with this book and loved it as well. And for the King book, I'm like torn, obviously, but the one I'm going to actually go with is The Shining. It's just a phenomenal book. And I know with my Zoctober thing going on, I had to do a couple of videos early and not trying to spoil anything, but yeah, it's top of my list. So
Cool.
Okay, so for me, it was so hard to narrow it down for 3. And honestly, this is just like my picks now, but I feel like it changes from time to time. So the one that I have read the most is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This is like a sci-fi type of horror, but it is so good. Like, I'm obsessed with how like ambiguous this one is. There's a lot of like unanswered questions. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great pick. I also went with one that I've read recently, and that was When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. So good, you guys. Like, this is like one of the best supernatural horror that I've ever read. So highly recommend that. And then I have to go with The King. I have to go with it, guys. Like, it's just, it's a classic. Like, I can't not go with it. So those are my top 3.
Nice.
Oh, those are good ones. But I agree. My top 3 change very, very frequently. I feel like I read a new book and I'm like, this is my new favorite. Thank you so much. So right now, I'm going to say Uzumaki by Junji Ito, which is cosmic and body horror. Not usually my favorite, but Junji Ito is a king, in my opinion, and that book will stay with me until the day I die. 2 is Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach, probably one of the first horror books that really struck a chord with me. I think about it to this day. And then 3, I'm going to go with my girl Darcy Coates, and I'm going to pick The Haunting of Ashburn House. It was a hard decision because I love Darcy Coates, but I'm going to go with that one. It could change, though, but I love that one.
All right, so I agree with Erin. It was so freaking hard to choose 3. I just kept debating. Literally like 5 minutes before, I was like, what am I going to do? So this is what I came up with. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires literally made me sob. Like, and I don't cry usually when I'm reading books, but this one was so good. It was so funny. It was so gory. It had me like screaming and crying and just like all the emotions. So I love Grady Hendrix writing. I'm obsessed. So that one I absolutely loved. And then Confessions by Kane Minato. I consider this one a horror book. I know some people consider it a thriller as well, but I just find it super disturbing. And my jaw was like dropping the whole entire book. It's so good. It's translated and it's excellent. And then I was debating which Stephen King. I chose The Shining. I don't know. I love Salem's Lot too. Like, Salem's Lot is so good for this time of year, but The Shining just was excellent. The atmosphere is amazing. And yeah, I loved it so much.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, Mina, I put When the Reckoning Becomes on my TBR after I saw your post.
It's
I was like,
so good.
It is.
Like, I feel like it's an underrated book because nobody's talking about it, but I'm so glad that I read it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it does.
And it's so creepy.
Good.
Like, really, like, it gave me chills, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
That's on my radar. And Annihilation.
Oh my God, yes,
is on my radar. And Confessions is on my radar too. Like, I really want to read that one.
It's so good. Oh my God.
It's so surprising. I have never had a reading experience like it before. I read it in one sitting, driving in a car across the country. And I just kept looking at my husband and being like, did you just hear that? Like, it was crazy. It was so good.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick a top 3, like, I mean, as you guys were saying, it's like so freaking hard to like narrow it down to a top 3, and they're always like changing too. But like Zach, yeah, The Truth is definitely in my top. This is like the book that I kind of credit to like really getting me into horror within the last like year and a half or so. And this book just kind of changed the game for me, and I became obsessed afterwards. So I gotta shout out The Truth. I mean, I basically named my book club after this book, so you know. And then I think The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon is just incredible. Like, I was gonna put Pet Sematary in my top 3, but I think I like this one even more than Pet Sematary. It has like a similar concept kind of, and it's just freaking so cool. It's so good. And yeah, I love it. And then for the 3rd spot, I think I have to go with Kill Creek. I just really loved Kill Creek. I love that it's so like meta, and I love that it has like 4 horror authors like in the book, and like the discussion about writing horror, and it's just really interesting to me. So yeah, I think this has to be my top 3. I don't know.
I'm hoping to get to Kill Creek this month.
Yeah, Kill Creek is like the perfect Halloween.
I have it, but I've never read it. Like, I need to read that one.
Yeah, I love it takes place on Halloween night.
I was
oh my God, that's awesome.
Best Friend's Exorcism and The Winter People for this. Like The Winter People is just such a good book.
Yeah,
I need to read
Winter
it.
People's so good. Like the writing of like the back and forth between the timelines, it's just amazing.
Ooh.
And I think
Yeah.
I started the troop like at the start of like everything in 2020 going on, and I was really paranoid, and I was like afraid. Like I had to hold my dog at some points because
Oh.
you know the stuff that goes on in there. But yeah, that one was it was hard read.
I could
Yeah, that one's a
barely
tough one.
feel the descriptions in that book.
Oh.
Genuinely, I was like, I am going to throw up.
I know.
It's so good, but it was so gross.
I'm still upset about the turtle, but that's
Oh my god.
Turtles are my favorite animal. So
yeah.
yeah.
And the
that was a
cat
hard read.
too.
Yeah. It was hard.
Even the fish, like just everything.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
yeah, everything just kind of was like
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I do have one question that I wanted us to answer, and that's what are you currently reading? Whether or not that's horror or not. And while we're answering this, if anybody has any, specific things that they're looking for in horror books or things that you would want recommendations for, then just drop them in the chat so that I can pop them on screen for us to talk about. But yeah, while we're doing that, we can talk about what we're currently reading. If anybody has any exciting horror things that they're currently reading right now.
So I just finished a book called Friend by Diana Henstel, I think it's called. It's from the 80s, and they made it into a movie. Wes Craven made it into a movie called Deadly Friend. And it's about a genius boy who brings his next door neighbor back to life, and things go wrong. And I really liked it. I think it's very underrated because I never hear anybody talking about it. But it was just like it takes a little bit to get there, like the build up. It takes a while, but once it gets there, you like really feel for the characters, and it's sad. It's like a modern day Frankenstein, and I highly recommend it.
Who is it
Yeah.
by?
Her name is Diana Henstel. I think that's how you say it, and it's called Friend.
Friend. Okay, I'm gonna check that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I have got another Anya Alborn going at the moment. If you see her,
Ooh.
Whoa, how's that?
this is I'm like 120 something pages into it, and there's these three friends, and one of them commits suicide in this house, and then 20 years later, one of the other friends is like still thinking about that day, brings the other friend over, and then he commits suicide in the house, and like everyone's like blaming the third friend, and he's like, I got no idea what's going on. And so it's been really weird, and honestly, it's been one of my favorite Anya Alborn's books so far.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
it's been really good.
I really enjoyed Brother a lot,
Yeah.
and I just
I've
bought
not
The
read
Devil
that.
Crept In, I think.
I like
And
that one.
That one.
I
was
haven't
really
read any
good.
by her, and I
Me
really
neither.
like my brother.
You need to
It's
read
so
all of. I've read all of her books, and they're all really.
Which one
really,
is the
really good.
best?
Okay, like the best. Okay, if I had to pick, I would either say Brother or The Devil Crept In. But I
Okay.
also really, really, really loved Within These Walls. Within These Walls was really, really good.
Okay.
I liked Brother and The Shuddering. The Shuddering I thought was pretty eerie.
Yeah, if you like creature features for sure. I'm not a fan of monsters, like monster type horror. So that one wasn't really my favorite, but it's good. Like it's really fast paced. It's really fast paced, and I loved that for being a creature feature. So
Which one?
The Shuddering.
The Shuddering. Okay.
I am reading The Ruins by Scott Smith right now.
Oh,
Nice.
I have thoughts. I don't know what I think of it yet because I keep comparing it to The Truth. So it's a similar concept, kind of. It's a body horror, like adventure kind of book where it's like these couples are in Mexico and then they go out into the jungle and something is potentially infesting them. It's not as gross as The Troop yet, in my opinion. And I kind of miss the grossness in The Troop. And I also think The Troop, I don't know. To me, it's scarier when kids are involved. More disturbing.
That's a good point.
But I do think The Ruins is really good. It's picking up now a lot.
Yes.
And the imagery in it is it's very unique. Like it's kind of far-fetched, but in a good way, if that makes sense.
The last 100 pages is the best part of the book but everything else was so incredibly boring to me.
Yes.
Well, there's no
Boring,
chapters.
boring. No
So it's
chapters.
weird.
No
Okay, that's
chapters.
weird.
I couldn't
Is it similar to the movie? I saw the movie, but I didn't read the book.
The movie changes a lot.
Okay.
I like the movie.
I liked the
The
movie.
movie's great.
Yeah.
The movie is
Yeah.
so fun. The
I'm gonna
book is
watch
too
it
slow. The book is too slow. If you
Okay.
want
Really
faster
slow.
pace, the movie's real good, and it's way
Yeah.
faster. And
I realized that with the book. I ended up actually like DNFing it.
I don't blame you.
I almost did.
I don't blame you. I'm not currently reading anything yet. I just finished Cackle by Rachel Harrison, which was
Ooh.
so good. It's not
Oh my god.
scary, but it is so cozy and like cute, and it's just Halloweeny, and I loved it so much.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start Hunted by Darcy Coates probably
Ooh.
today.
Nice.
I'm planning
So-
to start that eventually soon.
Oh, looks good.
So I'm currently reading, well, I'm kind of in a reading slump, to be honest. So I've been reading my first Agatha Christie novel for like the past week, which is Halloween Party. But I did recently finish White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. And that was such a fun little horror. It's like a YA horror. So it's kind of like cheesy and kind of like not super scary, but I still had fun with it. So I think that was a good read, especially for like spooky season.
Yes, that one's on my TBR this month.
Oh,
yeah.
Does anybody have any most anticipated horror releases that are not coming out yet?
Why am I
Nothing but
blanking
Black and
all of a
Tea?
sudden?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
The cover is stunning.
Mallory
Yeah.
has another book coming out in December.
Does
Mhm.
he?
Ghoul in the Cape, I think
Oh.
is what it's called.
Pearl
He
is
had,
coming
like,
out as
5
well.
books this year or something like that. He's like written a lot.
oh.
I thought he had another one coming out.
Let me look at my.
I know. I
Goodness.
made a most anticipated horror.
Yeah.
I do this every month, but I
Same.
talk about so many books that it sort of.
Yeah, Savannah, I watched your video, and that one, the Reprieve or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it
Oh,
sounds
yes.
real good.
I just bought that one. That one
Yeah.
looks good.
That does
What
look
is it
good.
called?
The
Reprieve.
Reprieve?
And it's about this like extreme horror haunted house or something.
Yes.
And
Ooh.
like
Oh,
somebody's
yeah,
killed. And it okay, I don't know if anybody knows about McCamey Manor, but like I always go down that rabbit hole and I like research it more and more, and it kind of gave me those vibes.
Mhm.
So I was very intrigued. Let me pull up mine. Hopefully it doesn't
I
fit.
don't understand how people enjoy those types of haunted houses. Like, no,
No.
thank you. I don't want to be
No.
assaulted.
No.
Like,
Right.
I'm
Oh,
good.
that man needs to be arrested. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
If you look
Right?
if you look into him, it's really actually disturbing.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he's like weird. Like
He's like
there's-
sadistic.
Yeah, and there's stuff like a lot of people think he's like involved with like dark web kind of things, and he's like doing like red room kind of stuff and selling those kinds of tapes and stuff. Yeah, it's like a whole thing that people think he's doing.
I'm very intrigued.
Danielle just found a picture for Ghoul in the Cape.
Ooh, that looks good.
I mean, it's
It's
very
like a retro-y
I
color.
feel like he's hit or miss with me. I don't love everything that he writes, but I'm obsessed with House at the Bottom of the Lake.
Same.
I think
That one
he
is
was
so
the
good.
one who recommended it, and I read it. It's one of my favorite books of all time, to be
So
honest.
good.
That one really creeps me
So
out.
creepy
Yeah.
and weird.
I've
I'm
only
kinda
read Goblin. I only read Goblin by him, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it
So-
either. I liked
I
Bird
know-
Box too.
I didn't like Bird Box.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
didn't
say, I know Bird
I
Box
don't
is
know.
like super popular. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't read it.
through, but
I
they're
wanted to like it.
This one looks interesting because the cover is like it's like two women. It's called The Ghost Sequences, and I don't know what it's about really.
Oh, it looks.
Oh, it's
so
a collection of
cool.
ghost stories.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was just like the cover just stuck out to me because it's beautiful.
Mm,
God, I have too many.
I don't. Yeah, I know. Same.
This one's kind of a cool comment. It said, if you like Netflix's Midnight Mass, what book would you recommend?
I've heard that Revival by Stephen King is very close
Mm.
vibes. Salem's Lot also.
The Burning Girls by
Yeah,
C.J. Tudor.
Ooh.
I think that has the same like religious themes going
Oh.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still
I
need
think
to
it's
read
more
that one,
thriller, but there's definitely some like horror
Yeah.
aspects in it.
Yeah, it feels like
love
it's
that
really
book.
involved in the church and like very much like Midnight. Yeah, I would agree.
I saw a comment earlier that asked for slasher recommendations, and the reason why I bring this up is because I almost said Camp Slaughter was one of my favorite horror books of all time. It's a slasher by Sergio Gomez, and it's so much fun. I wanted to say that before I forgot about it because it's so good.
You know, all the comments are coming in so fast. I'm like,
I know.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's cool. Horror set in a different decade outside of the 2000s.
Most of the classic
Scanlines.
ones.
I know. I don't know besides Stephen King.
I know Scanlines. I think it's a novella, and
Oh yeah.
it's set in the 90s where it all takes place. These kids, they see a video. I think it's like the suicide of somebody, and the video is like cursed. It's kind of got Ring vibes, where if you watch this video, you get cursed, like, and this ghost follows you around. I really liked it.
That
I thought it was
sounds so
really
good.
Also,
Also, all of Grady Hendrix' books are like 80s, 90s. So
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this one's cool. Horror novellas. I love Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last spoke.
Ooh, I have one
right now.
Oh, go ahead.
Halloween
Sorry.
Fiend. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. It's so easy to do. You go ahead first.
I'm reading one right now called Halloween Fiend by
I want to read
C.D.
that.
Hunt.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
too.
it's really good.
It's
I
fun.
It's like set
Is it-
in a small town that there's like this creature called Halloween that they have to like offer up treats every night, and then there's a festival at the end, which I'm assuming they sacrifice somebody, but it's really creepy.
Yeah. I give
Also,
it 4.5 stars.
Ooh, okay.
nice. Also, Dark Harvest, which reminds me a lot of Halloween Fiend from the description. So good. I read it this past September. It was like the best Halloween book that I've ever read. Like,
They're so
perfect,
fun.
just
So
like
fun.
perfect atmosphere and like the Halloween vibes. I loved it.
What was it called?
It was called Dark Harvest.
Dark Harvest.
That's
one
on
right
my
here.
TBR this month.
I don't know
So
how to
good.
show. I don't know how to show this. It has a creepy bear. It's called The Bear Who Wouldn't Leave by J.H. Moncrief. It's so good. It's about this little boy. I think he's 8 years old, and his stepfather gives him this toy, this like teddy bear, and it is so creepy. This bear is so freaking creepy. He can't get rid of it, and it's like it like touches him like. He's like trying to sleep, and it's so creepy. It's so good. I love
So
it.
is it like Chucky?
Kind of.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real good.
The two novellas I think of, one of them is actually another Gabby recommendation, and that was Sour Candy.
So
And then the
good.
other one is Blanky, which kind of reminds me of that bear thing, because like,
Yeah, that's on my
like
TBR.
touching you, it's like shrinking. So.
Well, yeah.
I know. I just read We Need to Do Something, and I feel like this was so freaking intense and weird.
So good.
I really want to read that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
My favorite novella is Dear Laura by Gemma Amor. It gives me pen pal vibes. So if you like Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach, it's very similar, and it's probably my favorite novella of all time. So
Ooh, somebody said Crossroads. I second that. That book,
Ooh, I
that
haven't read
novella
that.
was really good.
I haven't read that one.
It's about a mother whose son dies, and then I think she somehow brings him back,
Oh,
and it's really creepy and sad and
Aw.
really
Nice.
Okay, here we have the slasher Rex. I found it. Does anybody have any other slasher Rex?
Clown in a Cornfield.
Oh,
But I feel like
yeah.
everybody's read that, so it's not that original of a rec.
Yeah.
What did we read? Paradise. What is it? Paradise something.
Oh, Paradise Club.
Yes,
Paradise Club.
Paradise Club.
Oh.
Where they're like on an island,
Yeah.
and it's like the purge. Like people
Yeah.
go there and start killing people. I'm not really describing this very well, but that's essentially it.
Oh, what else? Slashers are my favorite, but I feel like there's not a lot of
Agreed.
them.
Same.
Well, they're not very good. Like they're
Yeah.
just kind of like meh.
like B movie.
B movie.
They're
yeah.
hard. They don't translate well into book form.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
it. I
agree.
think that's it, and it sucks because they're fun. They're so fun, and I just want to read good ones. Ugh.
The Venue. Sorry, I was looking
Oh.
down at it. The Venue by T.J. Payne is
Oh.
pretty good. It's about this like group of people who go to this wedding, and it's in this like castle, and it's isolated and really remote, and basically it's kind of like the Hunger Games, only it's a lot darker. Like everybody has to start killing each other.
What the heck?
And it's pretty messed up, but it's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I enjoyed it.
Did somebody say Nothing But Black and Teeth? Because you just made me think of Nothing But Black and Teeth.
Oh, I want to read that.
It's so good.
I want to read it so bad.
So the perfect book to start reading horror.
Oh,
Rosemary
I never know
Baby.
how to. Yeah, I never know how to answer that because I'm like, I guess it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Darcy Coates is kind of a good starting point. She's not too scary.
she's not too like
Yeah.
powerful, but she's like
And it's fun. It's fun. They're not like bad or anything. They just have a formula to them. They're very like typical, but I think they're still scary enough and fun that they would be like, oh, you like this. Oh, no, you don't. And then you can branch off of that.
feel like you feel like comfortable reading it and you're not like too scared.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I also feel like some YA horror would be a good pick.
Yes.
Because they're less like intense. They don't have as much gore. So if you're not looking for something that's super gory, definitely go into like the YA, like the Mary Shelley Club. I think that's a perfect like entry into horror. It's like just the right amount of spooky, but not too intense.
I think everybody knows about this one, but Home Before Dark is such a fun book.
Yes.
It's technically a thriller, but it actually freaked me out in a few scenes in the like story that her dad wrote. It's very like The Haunting of Hill House vibes. Like if you like that show, you would love that book.
Yeah, I'd agree. Or
It's
even like
been on my
Grady
TBR.
Hendrix. Grady Hendrix is more like light sometimes, but his books
Comedy.
get kind of weird. So.
Just gore. Beware for the gore, I think.
Yeah.
Is the bigger thing. Not the scariness, but
Yeah.
body horror.
Anything like Salem's Lot.
I've never read Salem's Lot.
Me
Sorry.
neither. So I can't.
I can't answer this. Sorry.
I don't know. Salem's Lot. Well, Salem's Lot has the small town vibes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, there's vampire.
It's vampires, yeah.
Oh, I don't read vampire stories.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really say Dracula, but
I mean, I guess like Southern Book Club's guide.
Yeah.
I would kind of say it's got that vibe because it's kind of like hidden vampire things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it has that kind of feel where you're learning about the town over a few years, which I really enjoy. And I love that in Salem's Lot, you really learn about the whole history. You feel like you're kind of a part of the town.
Yeah. What about haunted house horror books?
Darcy Coates.
Darcy Coates. Darcy Coates.
Everybody always recommends Hell House. I haven't read that yet, but it's on my list for
Oh,
this month.
it's intense. That one has some scenes in that. Oh my gosh, I was reading and I was like, oh, what is going on in this book? It was good though.
I just thought of another one. Naomi's Room.
Oh,
I need to read it. Am I over talking?
That was.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Oh, I heard of that as
I
well.
haven't read that yet.
I'm
I
about
just
to
read that
read
one.
it.
This one is weird.
I'm so excited. I own
It's
that.
such an intriguing story, and like I was like able to keep up with it, and it was like actually really good. And the ending like really surprised me.
So I just read that one and I like it. I like how they have, it's kind of, you can tell the author is a fan of horror, like horror movies. It's filled with horror tropes and it's got creepy moments. I just wanted more ghost stuff.
Yeah, I kind of felt that. I mean, you're secluded. You've only got like 2 people that you're really following.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to have more people and more deaths, but
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I would say like Kill Creek is one of my favorite haunted houses, but also recently The Book of Accidents.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read it yet.
I
Oh,
loved it.
I can't wait.
It's
I
like
need to
way
read
too
that.
big.
It's so long.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
need that long, but it's so good. I forget.
It's so good and so like weird. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
just so many
weird.
crazy. I feel like there's a little bit of
Ooh.
sci-fi in there, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like sci-fi horror.
Yep.
I
really
would also The Shining. I consider a haunted house.
Yes.
Yeah. Also,
horror.
The hotel is kind of like a character, and that
Yeah,
which
for
is really
sure.
cool. Yeah.
And if you're looking for like a good gothic horror, The Woman in Black, I would recommend that one. It's a classic.
Another classic, which I haven't read yet, it's on my list for this month, is Burnt Offerings, which is about a family who moves into a house. And I think the house has like a hold on them, makes them do stuff. So
I think a more subtle one would be Mexican Gothic. It kind of has that, all the atmosphere is just
so good.
And you just can visualize it so well. I love it.
Which one was this?
Mexican Gothic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still gotta read that.
So good.
There's so many books to read. We never get to all. We'll never read all of them. We'll never get all of them. It's so sad. Oh, scariest.
What's the scariest book
That's a hard one.
That
The
is
Exorcist
hard.
really creeped me out.
Yeah,
The Exorcist is crazy.
Like the stuff that this little girl is doing and saying, I was just like,
It's just like so psychological, and it gets in your head. Like,
That's the one book and movie that I don't know if I can handle. Like that sounds weird, but it just is so disturbing to me, the concept, that I'm like, should I put myself through this?
The Exorcist?
Yeah. I don't know.
The Exorcist used to freak me out when I was little. Like, I used to have to sleep with like a cross.
Yeah, no, it's so
I was gonna get over that's not the devil.
See, I feel like I'm in the minority. The Exorcist was so boring to me. I didn't get like any of that when I read it. I was just kind of like, oh. But I'd seen the movie so many times that I think I was just so desensitized to it that I'm reading it and I was like, I don't feel like I'm getting anything new. So I was just so sad because everyone loves it. And I was like, no, I want to be scared.
Well, another one that I would say would like kind of creep me out was Pet Cemetery. I think that book was just horrific.
It's like real intense,
real life horror. Yeah.
Yeah, Handful of Ghosts was pretty freaky. It's
I know, I want to read that one.
Perspective of a young kid. I think she's like 5 or something, and it kind of is almost like an homage to The Exorcist. And there was a scene in there that was like, "Oh,
wait,
what book?
Which book is this?
A Handful of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay.
Oh, yes. I love that book.
There was one scene that I read, and I was like, But I know it was referencing The Exorcist, and I was pretty traumatized.
Oh my god! So basically, I need to see that. Read that book.
Yeah, I kind of know the whole story.
No, I know I'm so behind.
You gotta do it for Halloween.
I know.
Do it.
It's happening. Yeah, for scariest book, I just read Stolen Tongues for a reading vlog that I just did. Holy
good.
Fuck, I was so scared. I slept with the freaking lights on, like no joke.
Ooh,
what is it about? Yeah.
So it's about this couple who goes to this like cabin that's like a getaway cabin, and then they can like start to see this like figure in the woods, and they can like hear voices of like people that they like people they know. They can hear their voices. It's like super creepy. And then this freaking girl, like his wife or his fiance, is like laying in the bed, and she talks in her sleep, and she's like whispering back and forth with the.
Oh my god, that's so creepy.
That one. It's Stolen Tongues. It started out as a Reddit post, just like Pen Pal did, because I read it on Reddit. Like it was on, and then I got the book and didn't realize, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
So scary. Oh my god, I freaked out.
A book that like actually scared me was Naomi's Room. That book freaked me out. Like it's just so subtle, and it's about a dad who his daughter dies, and he starts seeing things around the house, and he's trying to figure out how his daughter died. But there's some scenes in it that are so unsettling. Like that made me like, because I was reading it at night and I live alone, so I was like freaked out. I probably shouldn't have done that, but that one.
The book that scared me the most, which I know, Gabby, you DNF'd it because you did not like it, but it's No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville. That book is terrifying. It terrified the living crap out of me. Content warnings, like a lot of them, but so good. I watched the movie, and
what is that one about?
It's about this woman named Stephanie who needs a place to live because she's like really like not doing well. She doesn't have a place to live. She's basically taking temp jobs, and she finds a room that's for sale for like really cheap. And it's a haunted house story because when she moves in, she hears scratching, she hears people like crying, she hears all kinds of things, but there's also a human evil aspect, which is the reason I think it's super scary. That they took that out of the movie, and I wasn't very thrilled with. But
oh, really? Maybe I like the movie.
they changed a lot in the movie. They changed a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that book. It was too much for me.
I get that though.
I can't read 600 pages of this.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's so good. It's very long, but it's amazing.
Damn.
Something that freaked me out, it's not a horror novel actually, but it's called Just Married by Kirsten Modglin. And it has home invasion elements, and that is something that terrifies me in real life. That's so scary to me. And it's about this couple, they go to a cabin and they just feel like someone is stalking them and messing with them, and they're like locked out of their cabin one night. And to me, that's just really freaky. I had ambiance on, like creepy cabin ambiance, and I was alone, and I was like, this is working. This is really freaking me out. So
what is it called again?
It's called Just Married by Kirsten Modglin. I think that's how you say the author's name.
Is it a thriller?
It's a thriller. So it goes into more thriller territory later in the novel, but I did find it freaky, in my opinion.
Home invasion freaks me out.
Same. Oh, yeah.
There's another one that I think just came out. It's called The Seven Visitations of
Oh, I heard of that.
Bergen?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think it has a home invasion element to it.
I think, yeah.
That's terrifying.
Scary. I don't like home invasion.
I know, it's like the scariest horror.
Freaks me out.
Creepy kid horror?
Creepy kid. Oh my god. The Exorcist.
Again. The Other, I think, is a creepy kid one, but I could be wrong. It's called The Other by Thomas Tryon.
The Other?
I don't know.
I think that's Sour Candy, the one Zach was showing.
Oh, yes.
That one has a creepy kid for sure.
That's a hard one. I don't think I read.
There's a creepy
Bad
kid.
I feel like there are less books about creepy kids than like movies about
creepy
kids.
Yeah, I think so
Which
too.
sucks because I love creepy kids in movies, but I don't know.
This one kind of.
Oh, we need to talk about Kevin.
Oh,
Imaginary Friend.
It kind of has a creepy kid thing going on.
I need to read that.
It's just so thick.
I know.
So
That's why I'm not picking it up. I'm just like too intimidated, to be honest.
And it's like the first 500 pages are some of my favorite shit that I've ever read, and then the last like 200 pages, it's like
yeah I that's what I heard.
It should have been condensed. Ooh,
Baby Teeth. Baby Teeth has a creepy kid.
Yes. Why did I forget?
Oh
my gosh, I keep forgetting.
The Push. I've heard good things about The Push. I
haven't read it yet. Yeah, it looks good, but I haven't read it.
Yes, The Push. Oh my god, that's one of my favorites of this year.
Ooh,
so good.
Ooh, no. I think I'm confusing movies with.
Me too. I'm like
The Orphan.
I don't know.
I'm in and out. I can't like hear anybody.
Oh no.
No.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I think it might have got fixed.
It looks good. I can hear you and see you.
Yeah.
That last like 8 minutes, I got nothing from you guys.
Oh no.
Oh, The Omen. Yes, I've had that on my list.
It's a book.
I didn't know
it was a book.
Either.
Okay.
So many horror movies are books that I didn't even realize.
And The Omen, the book is written. The screenplay for the movie is written by the same guy, so it should be very
like
good.
faithful. Okay, good.
That's awesome.
Oh, Cameron's in the chat. I just noticed. What's up, Cameron? I missed his message. I'm trying to find it. God, there's so many comments.
I know. I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one.
I can't figure out anybody's questions anymore.
Yeah.
BIPOC horror RECS.
Oh, okay.
One of my faves is Night of the Mannequins.
Yes, I really liked that one. It's so weird.
Yes.
I want to read that one.
So weird.
I read, what is his other one? The Only Good Indians.
Yeah.
That one is it's so weird, but so creepy. If you like creature type of horror, supernatural creatures,
So I
I would
really like
recommend
that
that
one,
one.
but I feel like I can understand why people don't like it because it's kind of
I DNF'd
It's
it.
kind of hard to follow. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like I was
So hard.
confused the
I-
whole time.
I
I
feel
don't understand
stupid.
his writing.
I feel stupid when
I
I
felt
read
stupid
his
too.
books.
I felt
I
stupid
can't.
too.
It's a common
It's-
theme.
we're
not
all
stupid.
I feel so bad, but everything I read by him, I read My Heart is a Chainsaw and I didn't like it because I just can't connect with his writing and it makes
Yeah.
me feel
It's
so
just like-
bad.
It's very
his
like
thoughts
artistic.
flowing,
Yes.
Yeah.
like a stream
Yes.
of consciousness.
Yes, and it doesn't fly with me. But I mean, like, I just can't. My brain is just sitting there like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't
Same.
know. I don't get it.
Another book, Cirque Berserk by
Yes!
Jessica
That
So
one's
Jett.
really
good,
good.
so good,
It's
so good.
It's a
so
good slasher.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh my
Is
God,
it like
why
a
did I
carnival?
forget?
Is
Why
it
did
a
I
carnival
forget?
one?
Yes.
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 Okay.
How did I forget that one? That's literally one of my favorite slashers, and I couldn't
It's
even
so
remember. I literally am blanking every time I hear these freaking
It's a short
things.
story, right? Or is it short?
It's like a novella. Yeah,
yeah.
It's a novella.
yes,
Okay, cool.
The Ballad of Black Tom. I also really
Haven't
Ooh, I
read
need
that.
to read that.
That
I
was
haven't read that one.
I read that and I thought that was it was weird, but I didn't hate it.
I also really liked Lakewood. I forgot the name of the author. I think it was
Yeah.
Lena something. I'm not sure what her last name was, but that is like a sci-fi horror. It's more like dread kind of like rather than like truly like horrifying, but I thought it was creepy. It was one of my favorite books last year, so definitely recommend.
Okay.
Yeah, people in the comments are saying Hide and Seeker. I just read that. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
so much fun.
I love
So
that
good.
one.
So good. So much fun. Such a fun middle grade. I love
Yeah.
that.
Cover is so
I was
pretty.
gonna say that's a perfect transition for favorite middle grade.
Oh, great. Hide and
Oh my
Seeker.
god.
So I was gonna say that's the only one
I don't think I've read any middle grade horror.
Middle
I know.
grade Killer Pizza. It's about a boy
Ooh.
who gets
Ooh.
a job
Oh,
at a
that
pizza
is
place that's actually a front for a monster hunting organization, and it's really good. It's really cute.
That
I
sounds
read that back
cute.
in school and I like vaguely remember like everything about that book, but I own it. And
I am almost done with Mine by Delilah S. Dawson.
Alright.
It's so good, and it's seriously creepy.
Oh,
Like there was
creepy.
some scenes that were scary,
I want to read that.
supernatural. Yeah, it's really good.
There's another one I have, the Fright Watchers or something.
Oh, yes, I saw that
what
on
it's
the.
called?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I want to read The Smashed Man of Dread End. I
Me
have
too.
that on my TBR this month. It looks so much fun. Oh,
I love the cover.
yes. They have
That
good
sounds so
covers.
creepy. The Smashed Man. What is it?
I know.
The Smashed of Dread
Dread
End, I
End.
think.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
By
Dread
the
End.
same author who wrote 12 Nights at Rotterhouse.
J.W.
Okay,
Ocker.
cool, cool.
J.W. Ocker.
Yeah.
I got the book in front of me. And
Yeah, Mary Downing Hahn is good. Like, Wait Till Helen Comes. I remember that one
Ooh.
creeping me out. What else? What else?
What about
Goosebumps.
Hidden Gem?
Goosebumps.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Goosebumps.
Oh, Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, literally.
We're both wearing
We're
the same.
matching. We're literally wearing the same.
Oh, I love it. Where did you get that?
I
So
almost
cute.
wrote Pet Cemetery, so
I got mine at Forever 21. It's a t-shirt.
Really?
But yours is
Okay,
a sweatshirt.
so mine,
Yeah.
honestly, like, it doesn't exist anymore. I'm
Aw.
so it was from Etsy, and then literally 4 days after I like got it in the mail, the shop is closed. So I'm so
Aw.
sorry, guys.
But I think there are some similar ones on Etsy.
Yeah.
if you search.
Yeah.
In like t-shirt form for sure. Yeah.
Are we all wearing horror t-shirts? I think we are. Can we
think
show
so.
them? Okay,
They're
I was
so
gonna
cool.
I love it.
say. I was
Oh my
gonna-
god,
'cause it's hard to
Savannah! I
see
was
'em.
literally about to buy that shirt. It's in my Amazon cart
But
right now.
it's so comfortable too. I love it, and the colors, like, so good. And
Oh,
my
that's
earrings are Scream as well.
Cute.
Oh my god,
Oh,
love it.
Megan,
Love
oh,
it.
mine
Mine
is
are
that.
too. Mine are too. I love it. Mine have Billy and Stu on them. In
Oh my
art.
god.
Oh my god, that's
Oh
so
my god, I
cute.
love that.
I love them, so
That's
I had to.
amazing.
Is
But
he
that's
is
fine.
he doing the thing with his finger?
Yes. Oh, you can't see them, but yeah.
Wow, it all came through.
Everyone loves that. That's like everyone's favorite Billy scene.
Cute.
That's so
I have a weird one. Where is it? Hex by Thomas Old Hoovel.
I just picked that up.
This
I
book
read
was very out there. It was.
Ooh.
I loved it, and it was weird.
It's like is it kind of like folk horror, like about a witch in
witch,
a town?
Witchcraft. It's like this blind witch, and like these like this whole town is like knows about this, and like when you're born into it, like you're stuck there, you can't leave, otherwise the witch gets you. And then these dumb crap kids decide to start picking on it.
Of course,
it like fights back, and the whole town's like, "All right, you guys are idiots." And,
That's awesome.
I Am Legend. I want to read that one.
Oh, I Am Legend is so good. It's a novella, so it's going to be a quick read. Yeah, I Am Legend.
I read it, and I was like,
it's not really zombies, and like I think the movie makes it more about zombies, but they're kind of more like vampire-esque.
Yeah, they're more vampire-ish type creatures.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it was still good. I liked it.
I'm trying to remember all the books I want to read.
Any recommendations for books based on folklore besides the classic scary stories to tell in the dark?
Somebody said Adam Neville has some good ones. The Reddening, I think, by Adam Neville.
Oh, I haven't read that one, but yeah, I think that one is about folk. I think that one has folklore in it.
I mean, Twisted Ones. Am I remembering that right?
I don't.
The Twisted.
I think you are right.
I'm trying to. I think I own it, but I'm trying to get my Goodreads to cooperate. It's not wanting to.
Folklore. I feel like I just read something with folklore in it, and now I'm like not.
There's a whole big book of folklore. I think it's like the Mammoth Book of Folklore or Folk Stories that is coming out or just came out by a bunch of different authors.
I read The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury, but I don't know if that's folklore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think The Twisted Ones by Ursula Vernon. I think I remember that being folklore. I found it at Half Price Books, and it looks really good. But I haven't read
that. Yeah.
What are you?
The only one that comes to mind, I don't know if it's actually based on any folklore, but it kind of just had like a folklore vibe, was And the Trees Crept In by Dawn Kurtagich, I think is how you say her last name. It has kind of like a woodsy house in the middle of the woods type of vibe. So it feels folk-esque, but I don't think it's based on anything.
Yeah, I think The Devil Crept In could be a little folky. That vibe. That kind of like the forest, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like that. I don't know if it necessarily is folklore. I don't really remember, but I think it could have
Ritual considered folklore. The book.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, it's like creature feature, but
what?
The Ritual?
The Ritual.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah.
Kind of
why not?
Vibe. I mean, I haven't read it. I've seen the movie, but
we're just gonna keep adding. The folklore genre.
People said Slewfoot, which I think is a good.
Oh, I haven't read it yet.
I haven't read
it yet either.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it does. It's beautiful. I feel like I don't read enough folklore. Maybe that's
same.
Maybe that's why. I feel like I'm missing something though.
I feel like
that's gonna bother me.
And it's like I can't think of it.
Yeah, I've fully blanked. I have no brain inside of me right now. Everyone's like, recommend this, and I'm like, I've read maybe 5 books that I can talk about right now. I really don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm rooting for you guys, and I'm building off of that.
Just wait till someone says something, and I'm like, oh yeah, that good idea. That was a good one.
This is a cool question. What's your favorite film adaptation of a horror book?
Ooh, that's a great question.
This is a touch
baby.
That's so
I
hard.
liked Misery, the movie, better than the book, and that is the tea.
Yeah, me too.
I really did. I don't know.
I think it's the book within the book parts that I didn't like.
Oh my god!
In the book,
please skip those parts. They're so.
Yeah,
Kathy Bates is
Kathy Bates
off so much. I just like that's another reason why I didn't like it at first, but I do plan to read it at some point again. The story within the story just kind of threw off.
Just skip it. Yeah. You don't need to.
You don't need it.
McKay literally told me he literally skipped all of that. He made the book amazing. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't read. Why are you reading that?" I was like, "Oh."
I think Psycho is a good movie to book adaptation. I feel like it's very faithful, and I enjoyed both of them.
To read that.
It's so good.
And it's so short.
It's so short. Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, but it looks
really good.
I mean, The Shining.
The Shining also, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's touchy because it's like loosely based off of the book, and the voice that he absolutely hates it, but it's my own favorite movie.
I mean, if we're going
too.
Stephen King, I would say it. I like it the movie more than the book. So I mean,
the movie or the TV miniseries?
Both. I like both.
I love the '90s one
and the new ones.
So
I love
good.
both of them a lot. So I would say I'd watch it over reading it. So
yeah,
I think they're all good.
all of them. I just like all of them. All of them. All of them are perfect. 10 out of 10.
Original Pet Cemetery I liked a lot better than the new one.
Oh yeah, I didn't like the new Pet Cemetery very much.
And they switched some things.
Yeah, I know.
It was very upsetting.
It weirded me out when I watched it.
I blacked the video and I definitely heard about it in the comments.
Yeah, don't.
It wasn't my favorite ever.
What about favorite 2021 releases?
Oh God!
Oh gosh!
Hold on.
This is so hard.
Mine isn't horror, but
Near the Bone.
Project Hail Mary. Like that's not horror.
Ooh, I have to read that one.
What did I say?
Oh my God, I need to read that.
The Haunting of Lee Harker by Darcy Coates was phenomenal, and then Cackle. It's so good. Cackle by Rachel Harrison. Those are my two. Well, I think they're my favorites. I don't know. Those are the two I can remember.
The Last House on Needless Street was pretty good.
I haven't read it yet.
Was it? I feel like I hear so many mixed reviews about it.
It's like I wasn't obsessed with it, but I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
It's creepy, weird.
I've heard mixed. Either you really loved it or you were like, meh, it was alright.
Yeah, I was more meh. I like that you get to read from a cat's perspective, but at first I was like,
what is this? Why? What?
Yeah.
I'd probably just say like the Reckoning Comes, the one that I mentioned already. That one of my top of the year. So
I need to read that now.
You guys
should
totally read it.
Yeah, I feel like Near the Bone is like if you like box, you might like this because it has that like kind of creature like is out there and you can't really see what it is, and it's just it's so freaking good. Like, I love the atmosphere.
I don't like creature features, and I loved Near the Bone. It was a 5 out of 5 for me. It was so good, and I dislike creature features. They're one of my least favorite subgenres.
I just picked up her other book, Horsemen.
I just read that.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's fun. I don't necessarily think it's really creepy. I liked what they did with the story. Like, I thought it was fun. I really like Sleepy Hollow, so I thought that was fun. It's cute. It's good. Like, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was good, but I wanted a little bit more. I didn't think it was very scary or creepy. There's like a few creepy things, but I was kind of like, I mean, it could have been amped a bit, but I liked it. I thought it was good. It was a decent little adaptation to the Sleepy Hollow family.
So I really liked House of Hollow, and it's like a dark fairy tale. It's not quite horror, but it has horror elements. It's YA. I really enjoyed it. I love the writing style. And that one came out this year.
Would Later be considered a horror? The one King came out with?
What is it? Oh,
which one?
Yeah.
The Outsider?
No, Later.
Oh, Later.
So?
I think so. He says it's horror in like every page.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is a horror book.
I really like
that
one.
Crime book. This is a horror book.
This is a horror book.
So then, I guess I could put that on there later.
That one I liked until like that reveal.
Yeah,
that was unnecessary.
The one reveal was strange.
Yeah,
everyone said that. I have not read it yet, but everyone's like the reveal, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready. I don't know what happened, but I'm ready for it.
I was thrown off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. I think everyone was like, oh, it would have been a 5 out of 5 if that hadn't happened. And I was like, oh no, what did you do, Steven? Steven!
He always does that.
I know,
though.
you got to expect it from him.
Where it's like
typical.
You have to either ignore it or somehow justify it, but you're still like, I don't really justify this, but like, I've not read Later, so I don't know what
me neither. I don't know either.
I just mean with Stephen King, you're like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
I feel like he does it a lot.
He does.
And I'm like,
and he gets away with it. And we just kind of like forget about it. We're like, oh, Steven.
Oh, Steven. Steven. He's just being himself again. Silly guy. Being goofy.
I feel like I've read mostly older books. I haven't read many from this year.
I feel like I
Right.
haven't read many older books and I only read new books. So I feel like I'm the opposite and I want to read older ones and then I just get so overwhelmed with the new ones
I know.
that I'm like, how do you do both? How do I read old and read new at the same time? It's so hard.
I know.
Ugh, at the same time.
I-
Everyone keep writing them. Keep
It's
writing so I
ongoing.
have more. But
What is that? I read that book.
oh,
This isn't anything to do with this question. I'm still on the 2021 question, but what was it called? Which she's a werewolf on the cover, but it wasn't really a werewolf. It was like YA about teeth. Whoa, what big teeth you have.
teeth-
That's
yeah,
not what it's
yeah.
called. But it's like now it's
What-
gonna kill me. That I
Is
can't
it
think
What
of it.
Big Teeth?
I think
It's
it's
What
what
Big
big
Teeth,
teeth you
What
have.
Big
Yes.
Teeth.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
not like it. But I liked the idea of it. And the cover's beautiful.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I know. I didn't read it though, but I heard everyone said they hated it, so I didn't read it because I was scared that I was gonna hate it. So I was like, "Ooh."
I want to read a book that gives me the Strangers vibe.
Me too. Do you
Believe me,
guys
I've
have
been
RECS?
searching.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
know.
searching.
Like, can you
Everything
guys give
in
us
the world.
RECS?
Kind of.
I was
Like,
gonna say,
isn't
yeah,
that
the
kind of-
covenant
yeah,
of
that's
the
what I was
world.
just gonna
Oh,
say.
okay.
Yeah.
I heard the ending was really bad though.
Yeah.
Everyone said that the ending like ruined it for them.
I think I love the ending, but it's
Really?
like it's not gonna be for everyone. I think it's
Oh, maybe
It's
I
not
should
for
read it
everyone,
then.
Maybe I
but
should read
Yeah, I
it.
can see the cabinet at the end of the world. This was the first video I did with the Gabby recommendations, and like I was like so irritated with like the one thing that happened in the book that you guys probably know, and I'm like,
Oh.
I just can't. I was very disappointed with how it was going.
Oh, sorry. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And then I remembered it. I was like, oh,
I don't know what
I don't know what-
it is,
yeah.
but
think
now
I
I
know.
kind of want to read it.
I
Because
do
I'm
too.
like, should I
You're
read
welcome,
it?
guys.
everybody's hating on it in the comments. And I'm over here like,
oh, your heart
Should
out.
I not read it?
I know. Maybe I
Love
shouldn't.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
oh my god,
It's
so
just
funny.
really sad, you know?
Yeah.
It sounds
It is.
good.
Does a
but
dog
if
die or
die.
something?
If
No,
there's a dog that dies, I will not read it.
it's not that. It's like
Who
it's
dies?
just horrific.
No, don't spoil it.
We're not-
Who dies?
Nobody dies.
Oh my God.
Nobody's dying.
Nobody at all dies. The whole
Okay.
What? Nobody dies?
Not at all.
Not
Nobody
at all.
See, this is my problem. I'm an ending person. So if you
Mhm.
make the ending make me feel like I read a whole book for no reason, I will make my rating appropriate to that. So it could be a
Same.
5 out of 5 the whole time, and then I'll give you like a 3 or a 2 if you ruin the ending for me.
I feel like a lot of books suck with their endings. So I'm like, if this book was good for most of it and it's like more about the journey and the journey was good, I'm like, sure, thanks. But because most of the endings usually typically suck. Like what book has a
That's
really good
true.
ending?
Darcy Coates. Darcy Coates.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Darcy Coates' endings are nice and they wrap up like a little bow and sometimes I need that, okay? Sometimes I need a little happiness that makes me feel like the world isn't horrible. And I know it's horror. I get that it's horror, and I know that people like to have everyone literally get slaughtered to
That's
death
what I
and
like.
murdered.
I like
can't
that.
do that.
I don't like
can't
happy
do
endings.
it. I love happy
I
endings.
hate them.
No,
I feel like they're
really
so unrealistic. Like I want to see something that's realistic, and I feel like the
I
world
get that.
sucks.
I get
So-
that.
Depending on how
That's
you
how I
perceive
feel.
Jack Torrance, The Shining has a happy ending.
Yeah.
I think it just depends for me because I guess for me the world sucks so bad that I read and I want to believe that it could be
Yeah.
as good as that. So like Darcy Coates makes me feel like I'm getting hugged and it's like it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, thank you, Darcy. Oh my God, you're so sweet to me. You love me. I love you too. Thank you. And that's why. And everyone hates on her for that. Everyone hates on her for that. Everyone's like, she's too like cute. And I'm like, I need it sometimes. Oh my God, I need a hug. I'm a little sad. I'm a little depressed. I'm a little anxious. I'm a little sad. I need a hug. Ugh. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'll read more murder in a minute, but a hug, please.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So the takeaway is read Darcy Coates if you want to feel
Yeah, I need to.
I need
Everyone
to
read
also.
Darcy Coates. I'm telling you right now. If you go on my channel, you'll literally just hear me talk about how she's like the best person in the world. But So
I'm
sorry.
book that I do need to read. That we all actually, you know what? Actually, he just commented.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I can't wait to
wow.
read
Same.
Autumn Crow.
That's on
Love
my
it.
TBR for this month.
Yeah,
Me too.
it's pretty much the same. So
All of us are like, yes, love it.
Yes.
Mm.
All right. Well, we're coming up on the last like 30 seconds here.
I cannot believe it.
I know that was
so
fast
fast.
hour.
I know.
Thank you for putting this together.
I know. Thank
That
you
was
so
really
much,
fun.
Gabby.
Of course.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this was so much fun. Yeah, thank you so much for all of you for, hanging out for the last hour. I super, super appreciate it. And yeah, we're getting ready to start the 5 o'clock crew yet. I don't see anybody in the studio yet.
We may have to leave first.
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe.
Oh, is that how it works?
I think so. I think we'll all
Okay.
have to leave and then they'll be able to come in.
Okay.
Oh.
It'll be just you for a
hey,
second.
it's not been stay for a second hour, but
No
I
one shows
got
up.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, I'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so much.
Gabby.
Bye,
Thanks,
Gabby.
everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so now we begin the second hour. McKay's the first one here.
Oh my gosh, my face is so big. Can you hear me?
What's up?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Wonderful. I need to apologize to everybody in advance because I got no fucking sleep. Context.
So happy that you're here, though.
Thank you. I got some context. Okay, so I live in Asia, and over here it's 7 a.m, and my body clock is fucked. Wait, can we swear on here?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, my body clock is fucked.
Yeah.
So I sleep at like 4 a.m. every day, and when Gabby invited me to this, I was like, okay. And then like only yesterday did I realize that it was like today, and I was like, I am not going to be able to fall asleep early. So, and I didn't.
Oh my God.
Marcy, hi. I have not seen you in so long. So hi.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
What's going on? So excited.
It was 7 a.m. where I am at, and I am freezing. Hi, Olivia. Oh, thank you, Olivia.
What's up?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So
I think it's cuter
yeah,
if I
first
look
hour
like
was
this.
really fun.
I know.
Very
I was
excited.
watching all of it. It was like
Yeah.
so good. I'm like, I don't even know what books I'm going to talk about now.
Yes, I know, right? I'm like, what are we gonna do for the whole second hour? Like,
I made a
know.
list of books on my phone. Hello. I love your name. Oh my goodness.
I'm fucking something up.
Can you hear?
Boner. Oh my God.
I noticed it
I
first,
can't hear
Marcy.
you guys. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
You can't hear?
Oh. Can't hear us, I think.
Okay.
Can you
Boner
hear?
can't hear
What?
us.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Here, let's see.
Maybe this is like a sign from the universe.
No, ma'am. No.
What? I'm not very tech savvy. I don't know how to solve these things.
When you came in, oh, she can't even hear me, so I don't even know
Marcy, message her.
how to tell her.
Between the two of us, which one's the one that's sleep deprived, girl?
Hey, Nakia.
Hello.
Oh,
Nakia, do you know how technology works? Because
Okay.
she can't hear us. She can't hear us.
Oh no,
I know.
that's not a good way to start.
Okay, I'm writing to her in the private chat to see if it can help.
Oh no,
You know what it is?
I know.
name
it's gonna-
boner.
That's probably it.
Guess who was the first one to notice that name?
Bitch, I literally, my shit was on fucking, I had my volume on 0 and I was
There
literally
you go.
Oh, Jordan.
So what
like,
We're in the right group.
Oh my god.
I was
Okay,
like,
I'm
literally
gonna
so
go.
stupid.
We're
Stop
good
it.
then. Okay. We've got it all figured out. So hello to the second hour of this RECS live show. Unfortunately, Cameron was not able to join us tonight, so that's why it's only 5 of us for this second round. He had some emergency stuff come up, so he couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. But he still is in the chat from what I saw earlier, so that's super awesome that he's still hanging out with us in the chat. But hello to everyone joining us. These are my other group of friends that's going to be joining me for the second hour. And yeah, so why don't we just start with like you guys can like introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you do on your channels and things like that. Mike, you could start.
Okay, thank you for making me go first because I would have forgotten everything. And for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the chat, I am running on 0 fucking hours of sleep because I live in Asia, so it's 7 in the morning where I am.
You're a trooper.
And I go to sleep at like 5. I go to sleep at 4, and I forgot about this live show. And then when Gabby was chatting with us in the group chat, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can sleep early and get enough sleep for this. So I was like, fuck it. So here I am. I am McKay. I am the host and mind and body and soul of McKay's. Here it is, McKay's Book Club. I read horror and thrillers and fairy porn. That's all you know.
Okay.
I'm not that interesting.
Love it. All right, Marcy, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Marcy from Marcy Reads, and I read predominantly horror, but I read a little bit of everything, fantasy, sci-fi, I mean, everything. I like it all, but usually horror wins my little heart. And yeah, my channel is Marcy Reads. I usually do wrap-ups where I just talk way too much. I just uploaded a video that was like 39 minutes long, and I'm like, people are not going to watch this shit, but hey. Yeah, and that's it.
All right. Jordan or Nakia?
Nakia, go first.
Oh, well, thank you. I am Nakia. My channel is Nakia's Hideaway. I am the baby of the group because I've only been on BookTube for almost a year. And I started with horror and thrillers because that was pretty much all I knew that I used to like. But I'm starting to gradually read more other genres, fantasy, sci-fi, things like that. And I am getting to be known as the DNF queen. Sorry, but yeah.
Yes. Only a year, but already killing it.
I'm Jordan. I don't know. I'm like an angel. I'm a supermodel. I do full-time drag basically with the fucking face. So yeah, I talk about like spooky shit and stuff. So
yeah, your videos give me life. Oh my gosh.
I was watching your video last night and just dying. The August and September wrap up, and you were like, in French, we say "le shit." I was like, gone.
I do speak fluently now.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give me some lessons.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Love it. All right. Well, yeah. So to start us off, oh, by the way, all of their channel links will be down below. If you're unfamiliar with any of their channels for some reason, then all of their channel links will be down below, so you can go and check them out. And yeah, so to start, I just like to ask, like, what are your like top 3 favorite horror books, like of all time, or just like this year, like whatever you feel, just so we can get a taste of everyone's, particular taste in horror. And yeah, so Mikay, you can start us off.
Sure. Okay, so I'm gonna. We don't need to give the synopsis, right? We can just like say what they are, say the vibes. Cool. So my first one I'm gonna go with is my favorite book of the year so far, and that is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Because have you ever read a book where you wanted to find the author and get on her feet and kowtow on her feet and kiss the fucking ground she walks on? Because after Night Film, I wanted to do just that. I want to track this fucking woman down and lick the fucking ground she walks on, because she rocked my world and gave me hope in life again in 2021, which was a feat. Okay. The second one I'm going to go with is a manhwa. So that is basically a Korean graphic novel, and that is Killing Stalking. All I'm going to say is I have a thing for serial killers. So this one really did it for me. It's 4 volumes and it's really lovely. And then the third one I'm going to go with is Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez, because I mean, I love snuff films. Wait, that came out wrong. Oh my god. I love.
No, it's good.
Okay.
Sorry. My FBI agent's gonna be on all of our asses. I love stories about snuff films. So movies like Videodrome and 8mm, and books like Pretty Girls, and books like this. And I think this one is better than Pretty Girls, honestly. It goes to places that Karen Slaughter did not dare attempt. So that's my top 3.
Wow.
Oh my god. I know, I need to read that one, but I'm scared.
Oh, you should be. I was reading it like this. How much is she gonna go in? And
oh god.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's me.
Me?
Yeah, Marcy, what are yours?
Man, it was so hard to just choose 3. I mean, I was here probably for like 45 minutes looking at my shelves, looking on Goodreads. And these are just some of my all-time favorites. The first one that I'm going to have to go with is The Rust Maidens by Gwendolyn Kiss. She is just like an author for me. I love her stuff, her writing, the way she writes friendships. And this has some body horror in it, but it's very subtle horror, which it's funny because all of my books are pretty subtle horror, but I like more of extreme. So I don't know why I didn't put any extreme in here. Another one I absolutely love, and it gives me all the feels, is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. And it's just a classic for a reason. And I like the movie too, but the book just goes a little deeper. And then my third one, I was watching the first live, and everybody had like a Stephen King in theirs. And it was funny because I was looking at mine. I'm like, I have to take my Stephen King out, but I'm not going to do it because I love this one so much. And that would have to be Lisey's Story. I mean, I love books that make me feel and make me cry. And this one definitely does that. And the show is so good, in my opinion.
I still need to check that one out. Oh my gosh, Cameron's here.
Oh!
Hey guys, how's it going?
You've been in here for a long time. I just noticed you were in the studio.
I just got in.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, I feel so bad if he's been like sitting there for like 5 minutes.
No, literally just logged in. I wanted to surprise everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
I took a walk. I took a shower. I feel better.
Good, good.
You know.
I'm glad you could join us.
I'm glad to.
Yes. So yeah, why don't you let us know your top 3 favorite horror recommendations?
Me? All right.
Yeah. Straight
I can do that. Well, I decided to kind of do like categories, so we'll start with middle grade.
Okay.
I think.
So how organized he is.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to have some kind of system for this. So right now I'm reading Fright Watch, book number 2, The Collectors by Lauren Lawrence. So The Stitchers, I would say, one of the best new middle grade horror books. I love this thing. It's so cute, very cozy. Gets a little dark, but not too dark. So I think it's perfect for kids, and has a little bit of that darkness for adults too. So I just really loved it. It's fun, and I'm loving the second book so far. I'm not too far in, but so far, really digging it. And then you want me to keep going?
Yeah, go for
All
it.
Right. For young adult, this is one that a lot of people don't really talk about much anymore. It got a little bit of buzz when it first came out, but that is The Dead House by Dylan Kurtagich. And this is one of those epistolary novels, I think that's how you pronounce it, where it's all told through like newspaper clippings and journal entries and audio files. It's really cool. It gets you really immersed in the story. This thing freaked me out. I thought the thing was so creepy. There are parts of this that really got in my head. And I actually had some nightmares from this, which never happens.
Dang.
Ever. I get scared of things that most people don't, though. So I don't know if it's going to be the same for you guys, but it definitely was for me. This really, really creeped me out. And as for adult books, I had no idea what to choose because I read so much adult horror. So I'll probably think of several books as we talk.
I'm sure, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I've heard of Dead House, but I haven't read that one, so
it's good. It's freaking good. I loved it.
All right, Nakia, what are yours?
Well, I like the more mild stuff, as you know.
Yeah.
So I was trying not to pick all baby books, as I was considering them.
I love baby books.
I know, that's why I love your channel. But
I love it all.
And your book, which, let me get that in there. This is one, I'm not just, saying it because you're here. You already know. This was like last year around this time. I was just so over the horror genre because I was just starting off and I was like, why are they so disturbing in the content warnings way? And then I read this and I was like, thank you. Finally, something that's not, like I said, inappropriate in ways that I don't care for. But yeah, so no, this is one that I love, and I'm actually going to reread some of these this month. You also already know, I know Jordan, I didn't care for this one, but 12 Nights at Rotterhouse, I love.
I love that one so much.
And I would go with Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. I really love psychological horror and horror with unreliable narrators, so I'll go with those three.
Dang. I haven't read any of those, but they all sound so good, especially Autumn Crow. I know I need to check out Autumn Crow. That one's on my list.
Bitch, I need like a Google Doc open.
I know.
Trying to like take notes of all the books we mentioned.
Yeah, like, you guys are like, it's your turn. I'm like, shut up. I'm right.
Right.
So this was a question meant for Satan and the devil. Like, it's not fair. So like while I'll do it, I like rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
Amen, sister. Amen.
So okay, I heard all the girls in the last live show talking so much shit on The Ruins by Scott Smith.
Oh yeah.
Cojones. The gumption. How dare you? I'm sorry. This is literally a masterpiece. How dare you? Come for Mr. Smith. Come for Smith. Come for Jordan. You know the classic saying.
I
love this book so much.
Confession, I've not read it.
Ooh, Jordan, don't
really
hate
good.
me.
I loved it.
I don't like it. No.
I loved it.
Cancel Marcy Reeves right now.
I'm so sorry. I wanted to love it, but
I mean, I get it. It's not for everybody. It's just like I have immaculate taste, so it's just,
that's what it is.
That's just what it is. So this is basically so good, so scary, so gory. And then I also chose Camp Slaughter by Sergio Gomez because we love a cannibal queen. We live for it. We love a girl who likes to, chop off heads with windowsills and, chase after teenagers and college students. We love that. So fun. And then I also had to choose something by Daddy McDowell. So I chose Cold Moon Over Babylon because it's like a ghost revenge story and just gorgeous.
Did you get lipstick on that?
No, I didn't kiss it. Although actually I did kiss Camp Slaughter. There's like a stain.
Oh, wow.
It matches though, it matches.
So since then I've just
Oh my gosh, I love this comment. Everyone
thank you, Juan.
Nakia is one of my favorite people to look at and speak to. Like look at her fucking face and tell me to stop.
Yes.
Like literally. I look at you and I see the face of God.
Stop it.
Gorgeous. And delighted.
Stop it.
Brittany, I think Survivor was the one I mentioned last.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't believe you like that book.
Which one?
Survivor. I had
best
like a bunch of my
book ever.
viewers read it and they were like, I can't. It's too fucked up.
Wait. Which one are you talking about though? Is this the JF Gonzalez one?
Yeah. The one with like the fucking
He's like, it has to be the wrong one.
Right. You're talking about a different book.
Wait,
well, I mean, my tastes are pretty out there. So. You'll know what I mean when you get to Cows, because I gave that one 5 stars, and you have yet to get to it. So
I have to. Though. I'm going to this month.
Yeah, if you think I'm crazy, I'm not going to blame you because like half the books I recommend are books I don't actually want to recommend because I want to have friends. But I mean, I'm running on 0 hours of sleep, so I'm kind of like exposing myself as a person right now. So there you go.
Okay, the first question is going to be best realistic horror recommendations. And while we answer this one, if you guys have any, like anybody watching, if you have any specific things that you want us to talk about for recommendations, and drop them in the comments now so that we can get around to those. But yeah, so does anybody have any like realistic horror recommendations?
I kind of do.
What does that even mean?
I know. Thank you.
I was going to ask that, but I didn't want to sound dumb.
Thank you.
Paranormal, like maybe like
All
realistic,
the
like not supernatural or paranormal is what I'm assuming. I don't know.
Okay.
based on a true story, or
I know.
I'm still confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I was.
Oh, you know
gonna
what?
say
I do actually. I have one.
It's like
I have one.
I
The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum.
I was just gonna say that. Oh
I
my
was
God.
gonna say that too. You freaking
You stole my answer.
what is it about?
You stole my book.
Take it back. I don't want it.
What is
This
that
was
one
the one
about?
based on the Sylvia Likens murder, right? And
Yeah. So
I did
basically,
a vlog on that.
it's
It was like I was like trying to
it's
hold back
based
tears in
on-
my vlog, honestly, because it was just so that book was like a lot.
Basically, it details an account of a boy who has to watch a person in his neighborhood who's like a young girl get tortured by not only her family but then also the children who are also in the neighborhood. So basically, it's just like this little girl is like kept in a basement, and everyone like tortures her, makes her eat dog shit. She eventually gets sexually assaulted. Like it's a whole fucking thing, and it actually happened.
Oh my
It's real
god.
fun.
No.
Yeah, I read that one and
Stay away, Nakia, stay away.
Oh, I already know.
I read that one and I couldn't even rate it because it is based on a true story. Had it been something that really did not happen, it was just fiction, it would have been 5 stars for me. But it was rough.
Yeah, because afterwards you just question like, why did he write this? Like, why was this something that he needed to like jot down?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know,
Well, I mean, I will say that compared to his other novels, like Off Season, like he showed a lot more restraint in this one, if you can believe it or not.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
One of my very good friends, Juan from Plagued by Visions, he was talking about how the fact that he like holds back so much information is almost what makes it so horrifying, is because it's like, I literally cannot tell you this because it is too much. Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
And I mean, like the decision to put the protagonist as, you know, someone who, like, I mean, he could have made a protagonist the girl and listed down all the torture methods, right? And that's what I was kind of scared of going into this book. I was like, okay, this is from the guy that wrote Off Season and Offspring, and he's writing this horrible murder thing. This is going to be the most disgusting thing. And then I read it and I was like, I mean, this stuff doesn't happen until like page like 150, right? So, I mean, if you were not a horror reader, you'd probably find this book to be like a bit
don't
like,
read it
you know,
if you're
really
new to horror.
Yeah.
Don't do
like,
that.
I mean,
It broke my heart.
Yeah.
It made me cry so much. Like at the end of that book, I was just, it stuck with me for weeks.
Yeah.
It really made an impact. And I don't know, something about it, it really teaches you empathy to a whole new level because it puts you there. And also as just a bystander, just watching it happen, it shows you like, you gotta say something. Like you gotta stick up for it. You have to go tell somebody. You can't just sit back and look. And it's like Jack Ketchum just makes you observe it and be like, all right, so if you were in the situation, what would you do? And it's not a nice truth to face, but he makes you do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, I like the question, horror books that involve forests or trees.
Oh my.
I haven't read it. I haven't read it, but we got it in our Nightworms package. I don't know if it was last month or the one before that, and it's forests. I can't even think of who the author is right now, but that one could be one. I'm just gonna go get one.
There's trees on the cover. So
whoa, I've never heard of that.
It's I read the first story, and in the first story there's a person's body who's like left in the forest, and when they're found, their stomach is hollowed out and their decapitated head has been placed inside their stomach, and they're just like sitting against a tree. Yeah, so
oh my goodness. Okay, sure.
I have this one, which actually pairs really well with The Dead House because it's also by Don Kurtgich, and The Trees Crept In. It's been a while since I've read this. Really creepy, though, about this creepy house and a creepy Slender Man-esque dude in the woods, and the trees are like getting closer and closer to the house. Really good, very creepy, very emotional. Don Kurtgich definitely puts the emotion into her books, so I really like that one.
I've seen that one, but I haven't read it. But that one looks really good.
Yeah, I have a few of Dawn Kirk. How do you say her name? I don't know anything. A couple of her books, and I haven't read them. But that one is calling out my name.
Mm-hmm. Wait, do the trees actually like creep in? Or are they just like, hey?
Like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, but I remember like each time they look out the window, the trees are like getting closer and closer to the house because that's where the I think the Creeper Man is what it's called. That's where he resides.
I don't like
so
that.
He's getting closer as the trees get closer.
All right.
That is creepy.
Also, forest horror movies. Blair Witch is the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Haley said, do y'all know of any books that have a fast-paced horror movie feel, slasher / heart pumping?
Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez. I'm sorry.
Once again.
Except I'm not sorry.
I really liked Kill River by
Cameron
I know it's Cameron.
Rubik.
That one I read, and it's more of a summary book, but it had my heart pumping.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I have one that's not technically horror, but it was horror to me. Binti by Aniti Okorafor. It's a novella, sci-fi novella, but it involves aliens. And when the stuff hits the fan, pretty early on, my heart was just, as I've said before, in my throat from that point until the end. And yeah, I loved it.
Dang.
Is that a series? I think it is, right?
It is, but so far I've read the first one and the second one, and the first one is the best one. The second one was just
Ew. I hate that.
Yeah.
I'll go off of Cameron Rubik. My favorite by him is Disco Death Trap. Once you reach like, I think it's page 100 where stuff really hits the fan, and then it just never lets up. That book is just insane.
He's good at writing those slasher. Oh, I love it.
And they feel so authentic too, because I watch a lot of those like really obscure 80s horror films, like ones that nobody else really watches because they're not great, but they're fun. And he really nails the fun of those movies.
Yeah. I know. I feel like Brother is kind of like fast paced, but it takes a while to get into the story. Like I would say the first like 100 to 150 pages is kind of slow, but once it gets going, it's like, what the heck? Like fast paced. Yeah, like so good. But let's see. This question was cool. Best witchcraft or witch horror books? I don't read a lot of this, so I don't have
either.
There's not enough witches in horror. It's actually a crime.
There really isn't.
It's just always disappointing to me.
I know.
Yeah, they're not good.
Mm-mm.
Or it's like YA and they're like trying to be like too like poetic, like about it. And they're like, my heart doth ache. It's like, shut the fuck up, Patty. Fucking kill him, okay? Jesus.
Oh my god. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I do have one.
Oh, which one?
Scanning my shelves now.
Yeah, I'm scanning Goodreads to see what I've read. Oh,
I have that, but I haven't read it.
Yes.
I have the hardcover and I bought the paperback too because I have zero self-control.
That's a good one.
We've all been there.
But yeah, it's about a witch who haunts a town and she's got like sewed up eyes and a sewed up mouth, and she just like creeps around. People like put doilies on her face because she'll just show up in your house and they're like, oh, god damn it, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That sounds creepy.
A little bit.
That is creepy. Can you imagine, y'all? You're just sitting there and no,
terrifying.
You.
This bitch with like a sewed up mouth is just like,
no.
There was also, I know Aaron mentioned it in the last live, Cackle by Rachel Harrison just came out.
That's right.
Yes, but some of us haven't gotten to read that yet.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead.
I like this question. Horror books with morally gray characters.
Morally Gary characters.
Right,
I wasn't going to point out the spelling error, but yes.
I'm looking for a book that specifically has a Gary in it, but I don't remember the names of the protagonists of any of the books I read. So I'm gonna pass.
I freaking love you, McKay, so much.
He is just here to like cancel the audience. He's just like, oh really? Gary, no. I love that.
Oh my god.
That would be a comment that I would write though, like because I misspell and mispronounce every single thing.
Maria is just like, fuck, man, it is so.
Wait, meanwhile, there's actually a genre called morally Gary characters, and we all look dumb.
I know, right? We just don't know.
I feel like horror is full of morally.
Yes.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say like
already.
Well,
I was gonna. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Nikia. You go right ahead.
The two I mentioned, because like I said, I love books where you're not sure if the person you're following is the good guy or the bad guy. So 12 Nights at Rotter House and like I said, Nightmare, because like I said, both of those are very ambiguous as to what's going on, and you do find out in the end where they stand, but the whole time you're reading, you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say 12 Nights at Rotter House. Also, you know, I've been writing this Autumn Crow High book. I've been going back and reading a lot of old like 90s YA horror books. And you know, R.L. Stine, he was way ahead of the game, man.
Yes.
All of his Fear Street books and Point Horror, like they all had, well, not all of them, but a lot of them had morally gray characters. It's like Reva from, or I think it's Reva from Silent Night.
Silent Night.
She's mostly evil, we'll just say that, but she's not like your typical evil character. She does have a good side in there somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't hate her.
Yeah, you kind of like, you love to hate her. It's not like you just hate her.
Yeah.
But he was way ahead of his time with that.
Yeah, it's funny because I just got Silent Night through Thrift Books in the mail today, and I'm so excited to read it. So that you're mentioning it, I'm like super pumped. But I'm saving it for Christmas.
Definitely.
I'm gonna reread it.
Second one then.
This one popped up a few times for like horror books that have LGBT characters or just any.
Oh
LGBT
my gosh,
characters.
I have one. Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LeBook. Was a trip and a half, and another half trip. That makes 2 full trips.
I would also say The Brightlands by John Fram. He's a gay author himself, and then there's like so many gay characters in this book. It's like, it's amazing. It's almost like a whole football team of gay characters, basically. So,
like something I would dream about if I was having a good night's sleep. Okay, so
you don't stop.
The queen, the trans queen that I just
I know what she's gonna say.
Fucking Haley fucking Piper is literally
yes.
doing the work that needs to be done. Like, she wrote a book about a woman with vagina dentata, and I don't know if anybody else needs this. I certainly do.
Okay.
Have you seen the movie Teeth?
Oh, girl.
That was my favorite movie when I was 14. Oh my god. I watched it like all the time when I was that
it was
age.
the funniest movie I'd ever seen. Oh, I loved it so much.
I know, and I love the song at the end.
Love it, dude.
Yeah.
When, like,
what was that book called you showed?
We need to see your book again, Jordaline.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted. It's the Queen of Teeth by Haley Piper.
Queen of Teeth. Okay.
Look at that. Gorgeous.
I need to read that because I like how she put it. What was that? The name that you said that it was?
Oh, vagina dentata.
There you go. I like that a lot.
I love that. I wish I had vagina dentata. Like, I wish.
I don't think I want to know.
I don't know if my husband would love me to have that, but I like the name a lot.
That was just a hint, Nikia.
Yeah, I figured, but I was like, okay.
Ooh, any creepy person staring through your window kind of books.
I just had a flashback to a nightmare I had as a kid.
Right? I just read Stolen Tongues, and it kind of has that vibe. It's really good.
I've been wanting to read that.
Yeah, it's really like that kind of vibe. Like you feel like somebody's like right outside of the window watching you. Like, ugh, it scared me so bad.
I'm thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. That had some creepy guy looking in the window. Sorry, Nakia. I know, girl. I know.
You don't like it?
I'm just saying.
it.
Staring in some windows.
I love that book like it's my own child. My review of
Yes.
that book is the only reason my channel gets views.
I actually
love
was
that book.
looking for the ending, and I saw your video, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I just don't.
You don't like
It's
it?
okay, I spoiled the whole thing.
It's not for everybody.
It wasn't for me.
I read that book with McKay. We did like a whole live show, and just the
Oh,
fact that I
wow.
got to read it with him and be on a live show with him, it just makes the book that much more special. But
Wait,
that
who?
book is amazing.
Aw.
It's
Wait, who were you on the live show with?
You don't stop it.
I wasn't on that show.
Yeah, you were.
No. Was this the one with Deja? I wasn't on that show.
What show were you on?
I was not. No, I was never on a live show about that book. I was on
So
Survivor.
what
Song
live
with
show
you.
were you on? Didn't you
Survivor
read it
Song.
with us?
No,
I hate the book now. I hate the book.
I was on Survivor Song with you. I was never on a live show.
Oh,
with
and I hated that book. Oh my gosh. But I love you.
I love you. No, I didn't like that book either. But like,
fondest memory,
it was
and you're
fun
like,
to
I
watch.
wasn't there.
McKay, why couldn't you just let me have it?
Yeah.
Because I was like gaslighting myself. I was like, was I on a live show with her? And then like I thought back to my, and I was like, no. So there's a mistake
Wait
here.
a minute.
Oh man. Oh well.
I was with you in spirit.
You were. You were.
Oh my goodness.
Bitch, I'm sweating.
Get the fan.
Oh my god.
That's what books are for.
There you go.
Books that gave the same vibes as American Horror Story. I haven't seen American Horror
Wow.
Story.
Which season?
Season
That's
though. I need Haley to
Yeah, what
specify
season?
which season.
Yeah, I don't,
That's very broad.
it's very broad. I don't.
Yeah, because there's so many
There's, like-
different topics.
There's 10 seasons now, and they're all about like different things. So Haley,
Mhm.
we
Right.
need you
The
to
only
narrow it
season
down.
I liked was Coven, and I can't think of
I
any.
love that season.
Oh,
I
the
did
only one I
finish
like.
that one.
It's the only one I'll rewatch 100 times.
Wow.
Wait, but
Haley's like,
what is the
Haley's
second
like,
one?
please,
Asylum,
any
Sister
season.
Mary Eunice, though.
Didn't finish that one either.
Oh.
I know. I like the ones that not a lot of people like. I like the Freak Show and the
I
first
hated that
season,
one.
of
I'm
course.
sorry.
I know, not a lot of people liked it. I loved it. But clearly I like
All love and hate what we love and hate. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I know. That's what I'm here for.
It slides off me.
You're welcome.
Okay, maybe favorite horror short story. We kind of said this in the last round, but I'd love to know if you guys have any.
I have one, and it's not really my suggestion. It is Mandy. She was in the first live show, but I talk about in my wrap up how she suggested I read The Quiet Boy, which is the movie The Antlers is based off of. And it's by Nick and Tosca. And the audiobook is like an hour long, but it's such a production and it is such a good little story that I wish it was longer. But if you guys can get your hands on that one, it is amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
I loved House on Abigail Lane.
Oh.
And of course, I mean,
I can't see it.
Oh,
it's what I'm here
Yes.
for. Classic. Love it.
True Crime by Samantha Kolesnick is gorgeous.
what is that one about?
It's about a girl and her brother. Her mother sexually harasses and like assaults her. She's like an awful mother. And so she bashes her mom's head in with like a glass ashtray. But her mom's not dead. So then her brother comes home and he's like, the fuck did you do? And she's like, you have to kill her. You have to like finish the job. And so he like takes like a cord and like, strangles her till her head fucking pops. And then they run away together. And it's about them like, escaping the law and like, becoming who they are. It's really good. It's really fucked up.
Sounds
Okay,
like it.
Lindsay, I have an answer for Lindsay. Lindsay, I'm not sure if you've seen my channel, but I literally posted a video called Short Spooky Books.
Oh,
Yes, I have
Literally
to watch
dedicated
it.
to short
There you
to
go.
short stories. So if you check that out, you'll get a bit. I think you'll get like 8 recommendations. So And Lindsay, there are options
Love the
for
plug-in.
you after
The
this live show.
queen of self promo.
Right, okay. That's how you do it.
Love that.
I'm so behind on BookTube. God.
Same.
I have one, and I swear to God I wouldn't mention a Stephen King on here just because everybody's read Stephen King. But
No, you
The
have
Last
to.
Rung on the Ladder, which is from Night Shift, it's not a scary story. It's not like horror, but it's kind of like a guy who's recounting his relationship with his sister when they were kids, and how as they got older, they kind of drifted apart. She was trying to get a hold of him and eventually committed suicide. And it is just the most heart-wrenching story I've ever read. And that is like the only story in Night Shift that really, really stuck with me. So that is like one of my favorites, even though it's so sad. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Sad, you said sad? That's my name, so I'm
I
gonna
know.
read that
I'm
one.
starting to like sad too.
Love.
Is Night Shift worth it?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
That story is like what really influenced my style of writing for the most part. I tend to have kind of like this sad kind of melancholy thing throughout my stories, and that is kind of probably the reason for it.
Tell me the
Reading that
name
book.
again, Cameron, so I can write it down because I DNF Night Shift, but I'm gonna go back to that.
Oh.
The Last Rung on the Ladder, and I think it's a little more than halfway through the book, and it's very short. I remember it being like 10 pages, I believe. It's very, very short.
I'm gonna
I
go
like
read
a
that
short book.
It'll break your heart.
I still
I'm
think
always
about
looking
the
for.
short one, Quitters Inc. in Night Shift. I
Yeah.
still think about that one. I'm like, oh my god, horrifying.
That one is good, yes.
Yeah.
And the Boogeyman one. I remember
Yeah.
that one being really good.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
Carol, don't come for me, Carol.
Oh, I see.
Sorry. With the glasses, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't come for me, Carol.
We're not doing this.
Oh, Gabby, what was it? Quitters what?
Quitters Inc.
Okay.
Do you have any recommendation of a horror book that kept you up for days, scared out of your mind?
I wish. No.
I think
Nothing.
I can't stand when somebody asks me this because although I read a lot of horror, that it doesn't. Now, if you ask me about movies, I will tell you all day long because they all scare me. But as far as books go, I can't pick one because they don't really scare me too much.
No, this didn't necessarily like scare me out of my mind or anything, but it did scare the fuck out of me in the moment. And that was No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville. Reading this book, I was like alone in bed at night, and I would just like, like looking around, like making sure that there was, because in my like peripheral vision, I swear I would see someone. Yeah, terrifying, so scary, so spooky.
Yeah, that was like one of the only books.
Oh my god. How'd that get there?
You know what? I have that on my list because of you.
Oh,
and every time I see it on my Kindle, I'm just like, oh.
Spine.
It is a book in this little middle grade series, kind of a Goosebumps knockoff. It's called Spine Shivers, and this one is called The Grin in the Dark. I picked this up because the cover is spooky, and I like Goosebumps knockoffs, so I'm like, this will be fun. This thing actually really got to me.
Yeah,
and it is like a retelling of that old urban legend. You know, the babysitter is babysitting the kids, and there's this creepy clown doll in one of the rooms. It turns out it might not actually be a doll. It's a retelling of that. And this just was like
the cover.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and just like the footsteps in the hallway and the giggling and knowing that it might not actually be a clown doll or a clown, that it might be an escaped maniac. It's just really creepy. And to have a 12-year-old and some little kids in peril is just, it got to me a little bit.
That has my name written all
over it. Sign me up.
Look at
Do
that.
you need to read it in order?
Short.
Do you need to read it in order, or can you just like pick it up whenever?
Just pick it up. Yeah, they're all different stories. So I read a couple others and didn't like them. This one was really good.
I'm going to mention one. It's not really horror, but it's the only one that I could really think that really scared me. It's true crime, and it was American Predator. Now, true crime usually doesn't scare me, but American Predator, there was something about it that just freaked me out. So that's a good one that if you like true crime, you could pick up.
I have one that like really disturbed me, not necessarily scared me, like kept me up for days or anything, but while reading it, I was like genuinely shook, and that's really difficult. It's called The Summer I Died by Ryan C. Thomas, and we essentially follow these two young men who have just who are hanging out over this summer. They're childhood friends, and they hear a distressed call in the woods, and so they hear a woman screaming in the woods, and they go to investigate what's happening, why she is screaming, and when they find out why she is screaming, I'm not going to say what happens, but it is 100 pages of August Underground. If you get that reference, oh my gosh.
What's it called again?
Yeah. Right.
It's called The Summer I Died by Ryan C. Thomas, and it ruined me in the best possible way.
All right.
That sounds creepy.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, when I wrote my review, Nakia, oh my gosh, I was watching your video last night, Nakia, and you were talking about The Patient. And if you couldn't handle that, this book is like a absolutely not. As a matter of fact,
good to know. Crossing it off.
When I X that shit out. When I wrote my review of this book for my Bookstagram, I specifically said, this isn't a book you read, this is a book you survive. It's like going on a roller coaster. It's like going on a roller coaster into hell. Like that was what reading that book was like. Yeah. And this is coming from me. So can you imagine?
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
Tell me how crazy you think I am while you're reading it.
I was gonna say The Patient is like one of the books that freaked me out.
Yeah, I guess
I had
so.
trouble sleeping after that.
Jasper
DeWitt.
Yeah, Jasper DeWitt.
It was too scary for
because
you?
I
It was
just read.
freaky.
I just didn't like some of the things that happened in it.
It's the
Constant
children
lies.
aspect of it, like something about a child that's like demonic.
Exactly.
It really gets to me. I freak out. Like, no.
Did
I need to
everybody
read
read
that
that?
one. I haven't
And we
read
were like
it.
messaging each other. Like, Gabby, I couldn't sleep. We both couldn't sleep that night, remember?
Yep.
With The Patient?
Yeah.
I need to read it. Now I'm
I haven't read it
intrigued.
either.
It's really
I
good.
didn't have a problem sleeping, but
That
I mean,
probably had something to do with it.
something
That's
about
fair.
that book, I felt like there was a presence in my room that night.
Same.
When I was
Oh,
reading that
no,
book. So
no,
I
no.
had to like binge it real quick the next day because I was like, I do not want to take this into the following day with me.
Yes,
So-
same.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Me and
interested.
Cameron are like, we're getting this.
It's disturbing. It's definitely disturbing.
Mhm.
You said it's called The Patient?
Yeah,
The
Mhm.
Patient
by Jasper
by
DeWitt.
Mhm.
I'm
Jasper
gonna get
DeWitt.
it.
It's good. It's really good.
A horror book that
Mhm.
you loved and everybody hated. I feel like that would be The Patient because I feel like a lot of people are hating on that. I've seen.
Yeah, Katie gave that book 2 stars, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
I've seen a lot of people
Wow.
hating on it, but I don't know. I loved it.
Hmm. I don't.
I can't think of one. I don't know.
I think
What's a
for
horror
me,
book that people hate?
I think for me, my latest one was The Haunted. I gave that book 5 stars by Bentley Little. I loved it so much, but every time I hear somebody talk about it, they're like either giving it 3 stars or they don't like it, and I'm like wondering now if it's just I don't know.
Well, I know a book I love that Gabby didn't like, and that's Later by Stephen King.
Oh,
When I saw your video, I was like, she didn't like it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fine.
That
I
was
just
my
like
first
the
Stephen
plot
King
twist of
book too.
Later.
So
Oh, really?
yeah.
I have this one here called Red Harvest by Patrick C. Green. This is very, very indie. I loved it. This is like, it takes place in a small town during the Halloween season, so it's got all those cozy vibes, but it's also a bit of a supernatural slasher, and it gets super bonkers, insane at the end, and it's bloody and gory, but also like cozy and fun. I thought it was just great. I had a great time with it, and I looked at some reviews, and it's been a while. It might be better received now. I don't know. I've not looked. But when I reviewed this, I scrolled down. I'm like, man, this must have attracted just the wrong audience or something. Because a lot of people didn't seem to get it. But I just thought it was just fun. It just reminded me of like those 80s horror films where anything goes. And I liked the characters, and I liked it. So I'll have to check and see if this is still getting hate. But I'm about to read the next one in the series. So I don't know. If you want something cozy but also super gory and just insane, then Give it
Cameron,
a shot.
gory and cozy go together hand in hand. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure.
I loved The Return by Rachel Harrison. Everybody fucking hates this book.
I'm
The
scared
ending
to
is
read
fucked
it.
up. The ending is fucked up, but the ending sucks. Just ignore the ending. But other than that, it's got this really cool vibe. It's got this like feature creature hotel vibe. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But it's really good.
I'm just scared to read it because, like you said, everybody loves it or hates it, and I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be on the hated side. I know. I'm gonna read it. It's on the list.
Follow your heart.
I know.
DNF'd it. Yeah,
See?
it wasn't my thing. Ooh, what about the opposite? A book that you hated that everyone else loved?
Bitch.
I'm thinking of ending things.
Nakia, you're like trying to hurt my soul.
I'm sorry. I hated it.
Oh my god.
Honestly, like, respect.
I found out the end and everything, and I was just like, that was it. I'm
I
sorry.
will say I did not like the movie, but I loved the book.
Oh, I wouldn't even watch the
It's
movie.
so good.
Yeah, the movie was interesting. It was
I want
wanna
to
hear-
hear too. I'm gonna hide now.
I want to hear Jordaline because
I'm so sorry.
Let's
I
get
want to hear what Jordaline has to say because she got up right quick to go grab a book. There she go. Oh, girl.
Oh, yeah, no.
girl.
Look at this piece of shit. Look at it. Look at it. It's literally.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I hated
Tell us how
this
you really feel.
Yeah.
I hated this book so I still do. I hate this book so fucking much. Chandler Morrison can suck my dick. Because he's literally a misogynist. Let's be honest. He's a misogynist. This book is awful. And everyone sucks its dick, and I don't get it. Anyway, sorry.
Okay,
I forgot to ask if I
so-
could swear. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you could. So I'm gonna go in the same vein as Jordaline, and it's by Chandler Morrison as well. I don't like saying that I don't like the guy because I don't know him, but how he inserts himself in the books, I just can't stand. And for me, it was Human Shaped Fiends, which is part of the splatter western, and I love the whole series. There's like 12 books in the series, and I like each one of them. But this one is the only one I gave 2 stars because he just inserts himself in these westerns that are like back in the 1800s. And I'm like, guy, you're pulling me off of the story so badly. And then like the way he talks about how women want him and he knows how, and I'm just like, no, this is not working for me.
It's so cringy.
It is.
Oh, I thought of another one that I know you all love and I hate it. Night of
I'm
the
scared.
Mannequins.
Well, I didn't
Did not
love
like
that
it.
one. I give it like 3.5 stars, so I'm not like super mad. So.
Because I just was upset that the cover and what I thought I was getting is not what I got. It was
Okay,
just
that's
marketed wrong. That was my issue. I was just
You
like, this
wanted
is not what I
mannequins.
signed up for. Thank you.
You wanted mannequins.
I wanted a killer mannequin.
You
I
have
get
to
it.
admit though that Stephen Graham Jones is like some of the best fucking writing in horror. Like,
I
period.
did enjoy his writing. I just was so irritated that
Yeah.
there was no killer mannequin.
Listen,
Sorry.
let's like co-write an actual mannequin horror story.
I
Cameron
did.
has one. I'm always going the wrong way.
Love it. Somebody asked for body horror. And I would just casually insert troop here.
Oh, we're all
Oh,
ready.
man. Yeah, the truth.
The Rust Maidens.
Yeah, one of my favorites. It's these girls and they it's like their last day of school. They're about to graduate and it's basically Phoebe and her cousin, and there's these girls that just start changing. They don't know why they're changing, but they start growing like glass and metals in their bodies and they can't figure out what it's about. So these girls are just cast aside from the town and there's like this whole investigation. They close off the streets and then it's just really about like friendship and their bodies just going through this whole weird thing.
Damn it, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
It is. The writing is incredible, which is what I love so much from Gwendolyn Kist.
Oh, I read one of hers.
You didn't like it. Okay.
I read, what was that one? I read Invention of Ghosts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I haven't read that one yet.
Okay. It was fine. It was just, I probably should read something else of hers. That's just,
Yeah.
It's funny, whenever I'm reading a book that has a lot of body horror, I don't really like notice it. I'm just like munching on a sandwich and I don't really think about it. I'm just like going with the story. And then I'll watch a review and someone's like, oh, this is a great body horror. And I'm like, I guess it was body horror, wasn't it?
Yeah, like Last Night of October. Didn't you read that one, Cameron?
Yes.
Yeah, that one to me was body horror because it was just like.
See, I didn't.
I was disgusted. It's all I'm gonna say is there's a character whose just blood just gushes out just constantly, and I was disgusted. Yeah, that. It was disgusting, but in a good way. I enjoyed it.
Stuff doesn't faze me, so it's hard for me to decide, like, is that body horror? But the troop.
Yeah, that one was good.
That's where I'm like, yeah, this is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
I will say, though, that The Rust Maidens is very subtle body horror. It's not gross like these other books, but I just saw somebody said Wilder Girls in the comments, and I agree so much. I loved Wilder Girls, but that's more YA, but it's still kind of gross.
Somebody else mentioned, Vanessa, God bless, mentioned Tender is the Flesh. I completely forgot about that.
I love that book so much. That was my second favorite book of last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, soul destroying. I'm never going to be the same. I think
love
part
that
of me
one.
died, to be honest. I think I'm like almost dead a little bit.
Aren't we
Can't wait
all?
for you to read it, Cameron.
Yes.
I know.
Super good.
I'm just like, I have so many books in my Halloween pile right now.
Yes.
I'm just getting through those. And then once I'm done, I can read those, finish the stupid book. and, then,
We're waiting.
and then I'll have freedom. I can read again.
Ooh, I like those hotel or motel horrors because I think I can only think of The Shining, but like I would love. Oh, that's right. The Return does have that too.
Wait, while he's getting a book, can I just give one more answer for body horror?
Yes.
If anyone is a fan of Junji Ito, he did this book called this manga called Shiver. And if you know the term tryptophobia, you know what's up.
I have that.
So,
I have that.
tryptophobia.
Yeah.
Hate it.
So don't read Shiver. Or I don't know, maybe read it
No,
and then
I
tell me how
won't.
long
I
you watch.
won't.
I look at
No,
the
no.
cover of Shiver and I feel like my skin is crawling out of my.
I'm itching. I'm itching
Well,
right
it's,
now.
it's a collection of stories, and there are several that have body horror. There's one called Shiver, which I personally wasn't like that grossed out by. But then there's one called Greased Oil, which I couldn't even read that one. Like I had to like read that one so fast because I could not look at one page for more than. If you have like, I like pimple popping videos, but there was Okay,
Like-
pimple popping videos. I can handle that, right? But there's a part
That's a
in that.
thing.
Yes.
It's a really big thing. Like it's
I've
brutal.
never seen a pimple popping video.
Why would I?
Dr.
Because
Pimple
it's so
Popper?
satisfying. It's like,
No.
this skin is being cleansed. But
Yeah.
Oh my God.
so I love pimple popping videos, but there was like a part in Greased Oil that it had that and more, and it just I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Candyman movie, but when he was picking with I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
I did see that movie.
I was
Oh
like,
my
if you don't
gosh.
stop picking with that.
I haven't seen it yet, but I do love Candyman.
It's nowhere near
I
as
didn't
good as
even
the
notice
first
that.
one.
Of course.
Mm-mm.
I have one from Cameron, you have one for Motel?
Yes. Actually, this is the second book in a series. This is The Hungry
Oh
Ones.
my
Yes,
gosh!
man. Oh,
We're all
yeah,
so
I
much
gotta read
alike,
that
aren't we?
series.
Oh my goodness.
The sequel to The Nightmare Room, which is a really good haunted house story, but this
Yes.
just cranks it up, man. It gets kind of weird and a little
I
like
agree.
darker-ish in a way in spots. I just really loved it.
Me too.
Do you have to read the other book first?
Yes.
Okay.
But the
I have the
Nightmare
third
Room.
one that I've not read yet, but I'm
Me,
excited.
me too. The Nightmare Room is amazing, and I don't usually like haunted house books, but this was my first favorite 5-star book, and
Oh, okay.
love
I
it.
love haunted house, so
I think
yeah.
you'll like it. Yeah. You might like it. If you like haunted
It's on the
houses, and
list.
I wouldn't say this is cozy, but it's not too disturbing or
Right.
graphic. Like I think you'll be
Right.
fine.
Okay.
There was parts where like I actually got little chills while reading that one.
Yeah.
It's really good.
All right.
All right. Well, we're coming up on an hour, so I wanted to ask, for like the last question, maybe, like, what's the best horror novel that you've read this year so far? Like, whether that's a 2021 release or not. Like, is there any horror that stood out to you this year as like your favorite so far?
This year.
2021 has been an actual bag of balls. Like, it's
Wow.
I've hated this year so much.
Worse than last year?
Honestly, yeah.
Really?
I mean, just because like we've been inside for so long that it's just like compounded. Where before it was like, I'm an introvert, bitch. Let me.
And now you're like, no.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I just want to like live my life.
I feel like
I get you. Yeah, I'm trying to look for mine.
I'm trying to think. I've read more books this year than I've read in my entire life. So it's been a great reading year, but the majority of the books I've read have been older books. And I know I've read new ones. I know I have. And I for a fact, but it's just like off the top of my head. Well, one that I'm reading right now is, like I said, The Collectors, and I'm really loving this. It's really fun. And based off the Stitchers, it'll probably be one of my favorites of the year because the Stitchers was. So, I mean, I know I can't really speak because it's too soon to say, but I'm really enjoying it. So if it keeps it up, we'll be good.
Nice.
And now I'm going to go check my Goodreads for more.
I know.
For me, I think it would have to be. Oh, I'm sorry. Does somebody else want to go? Okay. So I have two, and they're both by the same author. It's Christopher Triana. He does a little bit more of extreme horror, and one of them is Gone to See the Riverman. I loved that book so much. And then a second one, which is so unique, is Night Stalkers. That one is a little bit over the top, and it's co-written. I mean, it's really, really gory and extreme. But if you want something unique with a lot of pulp cultural references, it's very short. It's like it's almost a novella. The Night Stalkers is a really good one, also by Christopher Triana, and it's co-written with, oh my gosh, who is it? Does anyone know? No. Oh my gosh, here we go. And Ryan Harding. That one's really good.
Okay.
sounds good.
Oh, okay, I'll go. So I don't know. Stuff for the Children by Craig DeLuey. This is a horror novel about children dying. Like all the children in the world are just like dead. It's like totally a bummer. And all of the adults are like, no, why could this, like, how could this happen? I'm totally sad about all the kids being dead. And then a few days later, all the kids just like come back to life and they're like, hey, and everyone's like, hey, what's up?
Just kidding.
Not them.
And then they're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Just wish I had like some blood. And the adults are like, what? So it's literally a vampire novel about children vampires. And the ending of this book literally made my heart fall out of my ass. Like it was so good.
I agree.
So fucking scary. It's the kind of book that like lulls you into like,
yes.
Oh yeah, this is fine. And then in the end, you're just like, there's nowhere for you to go.
Really good.
I agree. That one is a really good one.
Oh,
I need to read that one.
it's so good.
One of my favorites that I've read this year is The Winter People. I read this one in January this year, and this one's a little bit older. It's a few years old, but oh my God, this shit was so good. And I think if you like Pet Sematary, then like get on this shit.
I'm waiting for the winter to read it.
Yeah, no, it's like the perfect winter ambiance book. It's like snowy and spooky, and it's amazing. And then for one that I've read this year that was published this year, Near the Bone, which is another like winter one, which is weird. But it's like such a great ambiance of like being trapped alone on this mountain, isolated with somebody that's like abusive to you, like somebody you do not want to be with. And it's just like so intense. And she also thinks that there's like a creature on the mountain, but she can't see it, but she can hear it. And it's like very creepy and ominous. And I just love it so much.
I literally bought that book because you were like, you should read it. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah,
You got me.
Love that. Amazing.
Thanks for the recommendations, guys.
I know, right?
I know I have a whole list.
Did you say yours?
I have a couple
I don't
more.
think I've said. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I already went. I'll go later.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. I'm running on like no hours of sleep. So like, okay. Since Nakia got to say 12 Nights at Waterhouse twice, I'm gonna read
I'm out.
and I'm gonna say Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez.
Well, that's my
And
answer.
the reason I'm bringing it up is because I've been raving about it, but I haven't told y'all what it's about. So I am going to sell this book. And okay, so this is what this book is about. So we basically follow this couple, and they are very well to do. I think they're both lawyers, and they have had a tough work life, and they are wanting to go on a staycation. Okay, so they're on a road trip, right? And on the road trip, they get pulled over by this douche, this jerk who wants to file a citizen's arrest because the husband who was driving was allegedly speeding, right? So they get pulled over and the citizen's arrest happens. And because the husband was jailed and he can't be tried by a judge until the week because it's Friday, so they have to wait the weekend, the wife, her name is Lisa, has to be put in this hotel until the arraignment can happen, right? So while she is in this motel, and I guess this qualifies as a motel thing too. I'm shocked I didn't think of that. The same answer for every single question.
Survivor.
So while she is alone in this motel, the guy who filed the citizen's arrest kidnaps her and takes her to this secluded area and tells her, Lisa, honey, you are here to star in my movie, which happens to be a snuff film. And she's like, what's a snuff film? And he's like, I'm glad you asked. It's a hardcore porn film where we kill you in the end. And she's like, I don't think I want to do that. And she's like, but I want to do that. And she's like, but I really don't want to do that. And the book is called Survivor because she does things, and this could have also been my answer for morally great character. Although she is the protagonist, she's also, I would give her the name protagonist, but I would not call her a good guy because she does certain things to survive, which are like beyond the realm of forgiveness, which is why this book is called Survivor. And I am getting goosebumps right now describing this book because I just love it with my entire mind, body, and soul.
Sold. I have been sold.
And that is my answer for that.
I'm gonna get it.
All right.
Man.
I'll read it.
I'm gonna have to read
Yeah,
it.
he sold that book like nothing else. I am in.
Oh my God.
J.F. Gonzalez is like watching all the money flow in.
Right.
J.F. Gonzalez is dead.
Oh,
I'm helping him beyond the grave.
He's dead?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, that's why this book is never turned into an audiobook because his estate is like, no, we don't want to turn this into an audiobook. But I'm like, this would make the best audiobook ever. You guys, what's up?
Oh my God.
I need it.
Anyway.
I need it.
But my best book of the year so far is Night Film by Marisha Pessel, and
I love that.
yeah, but I'm not as enthusiastic about it at the moment because I didn't read it. I read it like months ago, but Survivor was just like a couple months ago, so it's still like, you know, my thing.
That's
my
another
love,
book
my
that
soul,
everyone
right?
hates, but like the people who love it, immaculate taste. Immaculate. Everyone hates it, but like it's so good.
I'm literally going on right now to buy this book. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Look, I'm gonna
my
add it
God.
to cart.
Yes, that's
Olivia.
one.
Olivia's on it too.
Could literally get me anything. Oh my gosh.
What?
Apologies
Olivia's
in
on it.
advance, Olivia, because this book is like trigger warnings for everything. And like I wouldn't blame you if like you thought I was crazy, but I mean I'm exposing myself now because I'm like 2 hours of sleep. But yeah, that's my thing.
Oh, this cover.
It's a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna read it. I don't think I want to.
I don't know.
I'm okay.
What, Jordan?
Oh, I am. I'll tell you about. Let's buddy read it. Boner, come on.
Boner.
There's
Jordan,
so
if you can handle
much out
cows,
there
you can
to
handle
read,
anything.
guys. So
I
if you
know.
don't feel comfortable reading it,
Yeah,
go
don't.
No, I
something else.
won't. I
Yeah.
won't. There's too many books.
I'm gonna read Cows, and I think that's enough. That's me.
Oh, I haven't read that one.
Well, to be
enough.
honest, I mean, like Cows is like really, really up there. It's like up there with it's worse than Survivor. It's worse than Girl Next Door. It's up there with Summer I Died. Like it is like it's one of the really bad ones in my opinion. So if you can handle that, like you can handle anything in my opinion.
Thank you.
I don't even know what that book is about. I just
Just
heard
know
that
what
it's
you're getting
really, really
into.
bad.
Cows?
You can't even describe the plot without getting banned. So
Yeah, there's no synopsis on the back of the book.
Really?
there's a reason for that.
Jeez.
There is a reason for that.
Jeez.
Chapter 7. That's all I can say. Chapter 7. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think I can do it. I'll wait to hear Jordaline's
Exactly.
review.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's put
I
it this
don't
way.
think
For
so.
everybody complaining about the turtle scene in the troop, there
That
are
won't
cow
leave.
scenes, and they are 5,000 times worse. So
No.
Can I
that's my warning.
say something controversial? Can I say something controversial from my heart for a second? The troop isn't that good.
Oh, you hurt me.
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm here
Ryan
to
just
spill the
nuked
tea.
the entire.
We were all
Literally,
everyone's like, unsubscribe.
Everyone gives me shit for loving
Cancelled.
that book. They're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you like this book?" I'm like, "I just loved it."
Jordaline, can you do me a favor? And when you review cows, can you sort of, I know that it's not in the same subject matter, but can you compare it to Dead Inside as far as how effed up it is so that I can know?
Yes, of
Thank
course.
you.
Just for you.
I do the Lord's work.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
I have a couple.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had one more, right?
This book right here is called Devil's Night by Curtis M. Lawson. This is a short story collection, but all of the short stories take place on the same night in Detroit, Michigan. And it takes place in 1987 on October 30th, which is Devil's Night, where if you've seen The Crow, you probably know what Devil's Night is, where everybody takes to the streets and starts fucking shit up and burning buildings and stuff like that. So this takes place on that night. All of these different characters are all going through their own stuff on Devil's Night. And I just really love this. The writing is amazing. There are stories in this that make me cry. There are stories in this that gross me out. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody. Just really solid. And this is like the special, like limited hardcover edition, but I believe the paperback is out now or it's going to come out soon. So if you want something a little more affordable, you can do that. Also, The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates, which if you like cozy mysteries and you also love horror, I think this is like kind of perfect because it's both of that and it's just fun and cozy. And I can't wait for the second book. So there's that.
Nice.
I guess I'll go with the one I just read, The Silent Companions, because it had these creepy wooden doll figures, and it starts with one, and then more pop up, and they look like different people. And you'll hear like the sound of the wood like scratching across the floor when they're moving around, and yeah, it was a little creepy. It's a historical fiction book too, though, so it's set in the 1800s and the 1600s, so it's also very cozy.
I've heard about that one.
You're speaking to me.
I know, me too.
I love the cover for that book too. I've been wanting to read it.
I know.
It's so good.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this live show. I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you for joining me for this. I think this was so much fun.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I would love to do something like this again in the future if you guys are down, because I just think it's really
free
fun.
tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
I know, right?
See you all next week.
Yeah, same time. Okay.
But seriously, thank you guys so much. And again, to anybody watching, all of their links are down below. So go and support them because they're all amazing content creators. And I would love to do this again sometime soon. So I'll message you guys and see if we can do something. But thank you so much to everybody who joined us. We had pretty much like 300 people consistently watching throughout this whole live show. So that's really awesome. And thank you so much. And we will see you sometime soon, hopefully.
Next video.
Later. Yeah.